Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think it is time for a brand new episode of the Channel Switches Podcast. That's right, I've got the TARDIS keys today. Usually Brian is in charge of these episodes, but Brian isn't at 100% right now. He's currently recovering. But that's okay, because I'm super excited to talk about this week's topic, which is Doctor Who Season 2, or I guess New Who Season 2? What do we classify this as, Brian?
I don't know. The Disney Plus era?
Yeah, I guess Disney Plus Who Season 2. There we go. Disney Plus Who Season 2. I like that. That rhymes. We'll go with that. Disney Plus Who Season 2. But yeah, of course, I am your host, Jay, and joining me as always are my two companions, Brian and Tony. How you doing tonight, fellas?
Good.
I'm good mostly, but my voice is still a little so that's why I'm eating cough drops and handed the reins of leadership to Jay for this one, and this sickness is why we had to cancel last week.
Oh yeah.
But there was no chance that we were missing Who.
But also,
especially after that finale. But we'll get to that.
But also, you guys probably didn't notice because, like, you know, we have stuff in the backlog, so you guys have been being fed episodes anyway. So it probably wasn't too noticeable for y'all. But just in case you wanted to know.
Well, I mean, also we do tell people what we're gonna do next time, and
that's fair. But yeah.
It's amusing that we have to try to stick to our own schedules, but due to life
it is funny how you can tell the episode, and it's like, oh wait, we didn't actually do that because we ended up either making a last minute change or canceling or all that other stuff. But yeah,
self-care is important.
It really is. It really is. I mean, this is all just a passion project for the three of us. We're not making any monetary value off of this, so we just do what we can whenever we can. But we still put 100% in on it. But that being said, we gotta always start our episodes how we start off, which is of course by jumping right into the news with Brian. And I have a feeling we're gonna start off with a sad in memoriam because of when we're recording this.
Oh yeah, there have been multiple. I'm probably gonna miss some.
There's a big one that I definitely want to spotlight. It's like, wow.
The first one is because we haven't been recording in a while, so we hadn't been able to talk about it. But big comic legend passed away. We got to start with that. Peter David.
Wait, it's been that long? I feel like I feel like I brought up Peter David's passing in the last one.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, it's not been that long. I definitely brought up Peter David's passing.
Sorry, it's still a little not all there. I thought we didn't cover it.
No, we covered it because that was in the last one. Because I remember because I also brought it up in the Comic Chaser for that same week.
So who's the big one that you were talking about?
Jonathan Joss. Jonathan Joss was murdered. Jonathan Joss.
Oh yeah.
Voice of Cotton and John Redcorn, King of the Hill.
He only voiced John Redcorn, Jay.
He voiced Cotton as well.
No, the Cotton voice actor has passed away, but it was a different actor, and it was a while ago.
Okay, never mind. I thought it was Cotton as well. My bad.
No, Khan's voice actor is the same former voice actor that did Khan.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be the new Dale. Yeah. Okay, my bad. But yeah. Unfortunately, and it really sucks that we're doing this while recording during Pride Month. But unfortunately, the prolific voice actor Jonathan Joss was murdered. And there's no way to sugarcoat it. He was murdered by some homophobic assholes at his mailbox, while also mourning the death of their dog, who was also killed and then sent to their mailbox.
Yep.
Fuck you.
And also,
fuck all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And also,
normally we don't start like this, but this shit pissed me off.
Yes, it angered me as well, because bad issues they had with this particular neighbor were just terrible, because their house was also burned down at that time.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, the fact that the police department didn't listen to their complaints at all, and they had sent multiple complaints all throughout the years, according to Jonathan's husband.
Yeah.
I hope money doesn't solve the problems. It doesn't bring people back. But I hope his widower gets a nice civil suit payment out of this, because Jesus.
Here's the thing: is
that department needs to be raked over coals for that.
Because according to the police, they've closed the case and said that it was not racially motivated.
It's not racially motivated.
Not racially.
It's sexual orientation motivated. It's a hate crime.
Oh, they said that there was no hate crime going on and that there was no premeditation.
That's fucking bullshit. That's
fucking
bullshit.
And also, when they made that announcement, they didn't fully look into everything. So that's the crazy thing.
Yeah, no.
They made it just out their ass.
It's
Oh,
wild.
yeah.
It's wild because I heard about this like relatively recently because like I looked into like all the stuff for the revival coming up, and I had heard this, and I was like, wait, what? He just died? That's crazy.
Yeah, out of all of us here, I was the first to hear about it when it actually happened. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like beside myself, just in sadness, because the nature of the passing.
Yeah.
It's insane.
How?
We are in 2025. This should not be a this kind of difference should not be a big deal anymore. What the fuck? I don't care what area of the country you live in. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Like, there are people that are actively like anti-protesting. They even just when it came out, the rumor that they were eyeing Hunter Schafer to play Princess Zelda in the upcoming Legend of Zelda.
Which I think is actually a pretty good choice. She's got the look for it for sure. But yeah.
But you know the main reason why they were protesting.
Yeah, she's a trans woman. People aren't gonna be on board with that because she's a trans. But yeah, fuck those people. Fuck their backwards ass opinions, and fuck this country for not doing what's right for its own citizens.
Mm-hmm. Also,
And no, I'm not being like anti-America. I love America. I'm just saying I'm calling America out on its bullshit when America does some bullshit.
Exactly.
We also lost actress Loretta Swit.
Name doesn't ring.
She was most notably known for playing Hot Lips in MASH.
I
never watched
The Woman.
Oh, okay. There was only one.
Aww.
Dang.
Mm-hmm. But she was in other shows around that time. A lot of stuff. Because, she was a pretty woman that could do comedy. And back then, when they found one of those, they overused them. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
But, so unfortunately, she passed away as well. And we also lost Renee Victor, who was Lupita on Weeds.
Oh, dang.
She also voiced the female Argonians in Skyrim.
Oh, shit. I did not know that.
And countless other stuff when they needed an older Hispanic woman and they couldn't get Rita Moreno.
Actually, I don't think Rita Moreno was used that often until recently.
Oh, true.
But
yeah, she was in a lot of stuff, like the Snowpiercer TV show, Dead to Me, which we really like.
I love that show. That was a good show.
A Million Little Things.
Who was she?
She was in there.
I watched that show. Who was she there?
Inez.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm. Witches of Eastwick, Tyler Perry's House of Pain. She's been a little bit of everywhere.
Nice.
And like I said at the top of the show, I'm probably missing other people that passed away. But it's sad when we lose anybody. Rest in peace to all the people that we mentioned and the ones that we didn't.
For sure. I mean, I'm sorry I got like a little bit more like animated with the first one, but like those circumstances were insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, indeed. But moving on to the actual news, we're staying with Marvel because I know last time I believe the news was Marvel related.
Yeah, last time was the Jessica Jones news, I believe.
So we got news about Vision Quest.
Okay.
Joe Costa will be a part of it.
Joe Costa? Huh? There's no Ultron.
Yes, there is.
Ultron's gonna be in Vision Quest?
Yes.
Yep, James Spader was confirmed to be part of the cast.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, previously announced as part of the cast was James Spader as Ultron. The Edith is returning, voiced by the same actress.
That's the Tony AI, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the Tony AI that he created for Peter after he died.
The glasses? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I remember Peter's other suit AI was Karen. Yeah, so Edith was the glasses.
Yeah, she's gonna be in there, which, by the way, did not know this, but Edith was voiced by Stevie from Schitt's Creek.
Oh, shit. Oh.
But yeah, also in the cast, confirmed, is a young, athletic, 20-something-year-old who's playing a character known as Tucker, and people think that is his code for Tommy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But back to the thing that started...
20-something? Isn't Billy only like... Is Billy in his
early 20s?
Okay, Billy's in his 20s. I wasn't sure. I was like, I swear...
Well, Joe...
They called him teen. so.
Joe Block is in his early 20s, but he's playing a teen.
Okay.
So this guy might also be in his early 20s playing a teen.
Okay, because I was definitely confused for a second. So I was like, I remember the whole joke was they kept calling him Teen when his name was censored.
Yeah. Well, bringing this back to what started this all, Jocasta has been cast, and will be a part of it, and perfect actress to play her. Okay. I am probably gonna mess up this name, but Tania Miller. AKA Hannah from the House of Bly Manor, or Victorine from the House of Usher.
Oh shit!
Well, the House of Usher. Yep.
That was the that was the one that was like the doctor experimenting on the monkeys in House of Usher, right?
Yes.
Yep. And Bly Manor, she was the maid.
Yeah, she was the housekeeper.
Housekeeper.
I just making sure.
But great actress.
Oh yeah, 100%.
By the way, apparently multiple times was up for playing the Doctor. And I feel like she would have made a good Doctor.
But not to be confused with the Good Doctor.
No, but I think that she'll also do a really good job at being Jocasta. And the fact that Jocasta is part of the story has me even more intrigued.
You know what would have been interesting, though? Is if they got Michelle Pfeiffer to do double duty. Because Jocasta is based off of Jan's brain patterns in the comic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously, like, they don't have, Michael Douglas as Ultron, but, I mean, he didn't create Ultron, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
I
guess also that wouldn't, that logic doesn't really follow through, because Tony...
Yeah, because I was going to bring that up.
Yeah,
whose brain pattern is she going to be based upon in the new one?
Yeah, that's true. Very interesting. Because, like, see, this is what happens when you only... when you don't follow the comics and you just use like imagery, you don't have a fucking plot line to go for. This will make it work.
Yeah, this show is going to be very interesting. We'll have to wait and see, because it was also confirmed that as a part of the show is going to be an actor, Farhan Tahir, reprising his MCU role as Raza.
Who the fuck is Raza?
He was the Middle Eastern arms dealer head guy in Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
Oh. Odd choice.
Yeah, he's gonna be returning.
Again, odd choice. I'm sure that has...
The only other time that we've seen him in the MCU was a flashback where, in What If, where it was revealed that they were working with the Ten Rings. So anyway, we'll have to wait and see, but that's it for the news.
Alright, cool. So... that will lead us right into our next segment, which is, of course, Screen Time. Screen Time is a segment of the podcast where the guys and I all talk about the various pieces of media we have consumed in between podcast episodes. That could range from other podcasts, video games, TV shows, movies we don't have time to cover, anime, manga, comics, shit like that. So I'll go ahead and start us off, and we'll start off with one that we all shared, because I actually brought this one up to do as an episode of the podcast, because we were originally going to do, so there are kind of several steps to get to Doctor Who. We were originally going to do Sirens, the Netflix limited series. I have heard really good things about, but due to work, scheduling, and all that stuff, and the fact that, these were like hour-long episodes, didn't have time to catch up. So I was like, hey, we should do a movie. And I remembered we reacted, and I saw, because I now have Apple TV Plus, that Fountain of Youth movie that we react to is on there. So I checked it out, and I was like, yo, this movie's fucking awesome. We should do this as an episode instead, because I didn't catch up in time. I'm pretty sure Tony didn't catch up in time. So it's like, let's do it. So we watched it, and I won't speak for these gentlemen, but I really fucking liked it. I really enjoy heist archaeology type movies that especially incorporate history and mythology into things. That's so good. And this movie was a lot of fun. John Krasinski played this, as I described it, a dude with Reed's intellect but Johnny's personality, and basically, Natalie Portman was his Sue, but not in the Reed way, more in the Johnny way, because they were siblings, clarify. But yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun. What did you guys think about it?
I had a fun time with the movie. It was a much better Indiana Jones movie than, the two that we had in the past.
Fair. Not a high bar, but fair.
Yep.
Also, something we talked about, I really appreciate that they just had a simple evil for evil's sake villain.
Oh, yeah.
Not everybody has to be nuanced or have a tragic backstory.
And there was more than one.
Dude,
yeah.
evil...
Yeah. There was more than one. Well, no, there was one, and then there was like, you know, a like background antagonist that was like chasing them around.
Yeah, but that guy was also like.
I was referring to Eliza Gomez's character.
Yeah, she was basically like she was good, but we thought she was bad for the longest time while watching the movie.
Yeah, because she was going against our main party.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you were talking about the inspector guy, he wasn't a bad guy either, because like.
No, I was talking about like the head of the other one that was chasing them.
I mean, he wasn't really there for all that long. He was just there for the beginning, and then kind of just dipped afterward. After one.
No, it's
true.
That guy. He got.
You're talking about the Asian guy, right? Yeah, the Asian guy wasn't there for the whole movie. He was just there for like the very beginning.
Yeah, he basically was there for the beginning and there for the tense scene with Interpol, and he got either killed or arrested by Interpol when they left that particular building.
Yeah, when they left the hideout. Yeah, he wasn't seen anywhere after that, so I wouldn't count him at all. He just was a setup bad guy.
Yeah, just a minor.
You know how Indiana Jones movies have like the minor Nazis? He is a minor Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
But just a random Asian.
I believe he was no, he was Thai. He was Thai. Because like the scene was in Thailand. Yeah, a random Thai like art thief criminal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bro was just working for somebody bigger than him. It said, "My boss is mad. You need to give me that painting back." Oh no, got arrested by Interpol.
Yep.
But hey, he had a bigger appearance than Stanley Tucci.
No, that's fair. Stanley Tucci was only there for like 5 minutes. He was there for one bit of expedition and then peace.
Yeah, just dipped out like that one meme of the kid just vanishing.
Yep, pretty much. Like, all right, let me tell you about this secret organization that's protecting the sounds of youth. All right, that's it. My check clear. Cool, peace. But yeah, overall a fun movie, and I would honestly watch more of these. Like, that family has a really good chemistry.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, I would so watch another one. It was great, and I like the fact that she was his sister, and that they had a brother-sister vibe in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also, like, the kid. That kid was so sassy.
I know.
It is always British children. Always British children be most sassy.
Yeah, the British children are very sassy. And it's great. And it is a different brand of sassy than American sassy, because obviously British humor is also much more dry. So it's a lot more cutting wit than American sassy children.
Yeah, he totally dismantled the ego of our big bad. Oh, yeah. Our big bad twist. It was so hilarious.
100%. That was a really funny scene. And nice back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And like, kudos again. It's really hard to find good kid actors, and that kid was good.
Yeah, it kind of makes our big bad villain kind of look more
even more incompetent. Yeah,
more like a babbling buffoon getting roasted by like a 10-year-old or some shit. That's hilarious,
right?
Yeah,
but yeah,
and Domhnall Gleeson did a great job.
Oh yeah, Domhnall Gleeson was great. I love seeing Lonzo, friend of the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mother's Milk.
Hell yeah.
He was a very minor role, but every heist needs a crew.
Mm-hmm.
So if they get a sequel, I would hope they flesh him out. Because there's some lore there. Because like he's a part of the dad's old team. And and like Brian said when we were talking off camera, like if they're just gonna embrace the cliches like they did, but in a fun way. Like, the number one cliche for this type of story is Dad's not really dead.
Well, my hope is that he, like, stays dead.
I mean, yeah, that would be cool, too. But I would also like to know more backstory about Dad and, like, the OG team.
Yeah, like, was there a moment in, like, an expedition that happened? Like, did they go to El Dorado? That's crazy. Even though the thing about the myth of the Golden City of El Dorado is basically a misunderstanding.
It's a big game of telephone, really.
Yeah, the biggest game of telephone known to man, which is amusing to me. It's amusing, right?
Yeah, it's the biggest game of telephone throughout history, honestly. Like, it's
or they look for Atlantis or some shit.
Yeah. Oh, Atlantis would be fun too, which is funny because we kept making allusions to like the Atlantis Disney movie, Atlantis: The Lost Empire, which had similar values as well. We even got into side tangents about Milo's Return, the quote-unquote sequel movie, which was just a bunch of stitched together animated episodes. Which, by the way, that animated series never saw the light of day.
No,
neither does the other Beauty and the Beast straight DVD movie. That was just a string of from an animated.
Or the Cinderella one either. or the Quasimodo one, which were all those.
That was a movie. That one was a full movie.
Oh, Quasi was a full movie?
Yeah, that straight to video sequel, that was a full movie.
But
also,
yeah, there were some that were full movies, like The Little Mermaid, but then some that were just collections of a failed TV show.
Or not failed TV shows, because Tarzan wasn't a failure.
Yeah, and also, I believe one of the Aladdin's movies was like tie into the TV show.
Return of Jafar. Oh.
No, Return of Jafar was it?
Yeah, Return of Jafar was Return of Jafar was a direct tie-in because
no, King of Thieves was after Return of Jafar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. King of Thieves was the third one. Return of Jafar was the second one, which is what they put out the show. They put out the show like in between a little bit after the original Aladdin, and then Return of Jafar was actually it was originally going to be a bunch of episodes of the show, but then they turned it into a movie and then continued the show from there. So technically, Return of Jafar has is within the same canon as the animated series.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, my favorite Aladdin sequels was King of Thieves.
King of Thieves is
really.
my favorite as well. King of Thieves is my favorite.
Yeah.
And also, fun fact: the reason why Return of Jafar and the animated series are both canon is that Dan Costello, voice of Homer Simpson, is the voice of the genie for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Robin Williams came back in King of Thieves.
That makes sense. Now that makes sense.
But yeah, other stuff that to go back to my individual screen time. I believe I mentioned that I started it last episode, but I have completed the first two acts of Expedition 33. I've now started Act 3. I thought I had beaten the final boss, but turns out they pulled a Billy Mays on me and was like, "But wait, there's more!" And they did a plot swerve, and I was like, "Oh shit, this game is so good! This game is so good!" If you guys enjoy RPGs and very good, both cutscene storytelling / environmental storytelling, a la like your FromSoft games, how they do environmental storytelling with like collectibles and such for lore, you will love Expedition 33. And best part about it, one, it's from a new indie studio, and two, the price point. It is $49.99 in a world where most video games are now, $70 and up. Looking at you, Nintendo. More specifically, you, Nintendo, because I trusted you. You betrayed that trust. But I'm still coming back because I love Pokemon. You're lucky.
Yes, I love Pokemon and Fire Emblem.
You're lucky my love for Pokemon overrides my hatred of your corporate greed.
Exactly. Does it feed the food? Yes, it does. But my love for shit takes priority, motherfucker.
But I'm gonna wait. I'm not getting it right away like everybody else. I'm gonna wait till Pokemon drops. Another thing that I just had a lot of fun with, that I actually shared with Tony, because we were just kind of kicking it one day. So I already talked with the boys before about how I have a fucking guilty pleasure love for trash reality TV and trash reality dating shows. Don't worry, Brian, we did not watch Love is Blind without you, but I discovered a whole rabbit hole of YouTube dating shows.
That he did.
Oh.
And so we found this one where first it was this we watched 2 episodes. One where it was a dude who was like a bachelor, right? It was the dude, and then the women were the contestants. And then the second one of the girls who was a contestant on the previous episode was now the bachelorette. And that girl is straight up, she checks all my boxes, bruh.
Oh no.
She's looking with the right buttons.
She checks all my buttons. She's got a little bit of a goth aesthetic. Her entire arm is anime. Her entire arm is a full sleeve of anime tattoos.
Oh.
And she loves Pokemon and plays competitive, and she's a competitive battler. I was like, yo, where have you been all my life? Wait a second.
Jay, and after we watched that episode, Jay shot his shot.
I did. I shot my shot in the comments.
I saw.
Tony witnessed it. I shot my shot in the comments.
Yeah, I was witness to that shit. It was crazy.
That video is mad popular, so I highly doubt that, the lads behind the channel will see it. But if they do, pass the message on. My DMs are open.
My man needs a date with this girl.
Straight up. She's that's like all the parameters are just fucking max, just EX rank. Like, yes, all right, I got it. And like we even like as we were watching it, kind of just paused through the episode, and like I gave my own personal answers, like as if I was in this competition. And I was like, I feel like my answer was better than that guy, especially you, Pepe. Fuck you, Pepe. You didn't deserve to be there.
Yeah, white man from Canada calling himself Pepe. Ugh, cringe.
Gross. Absolutely.
Now, was he French Canadian?
He was.
No,
Then
he
that-
didn't say he was French.
No, he did not specify, actually. He just said he was Canadian.
Oh,
He just said he was from Ontario.
because Pepe is also French, so.
I mean, I don't care. I mean,
It's more associated with... I've heard of more Mexican people named Pepe than French people, right?
yes, I mean, the age of French Pepes are done. They have been done for years, decades even.
Yeah, so...
Anyway,
But yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. We might circle back and show Brian those episodes.
Oh, you'll be mad, Brian. You'll be mad. Okay, so without spoiling it, there's one dude in the girl Jay's been crushing on's video. You'll be mad at him for stupid shit, cause he just started wilding out saying bullshit for no reason.
Are we talking about Crocodile Dundee?
No, not that motherfucker. The other guy.
Oh.
Dom, that guy.
Oh, Dom on his villain arc? Oh yeah, especially if you get the lore and we show you the first episode, you'll definitely you'll understand.
but anything's got to be better than MILF Manor.
I mean, fair. Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fun. It's fun. We got to show you that one.
It is entertainment. It's so absurdly trashy. It also, in Dom's video, there's a girl in there so caked up, it fired all the neurons in my brain when Jay pointed it out to me. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. She was Brazilian, and it was clear. You know, that proved to me that you know, racial feats exist in real life. Now, technically, it's an ethnic feat, but you know, same deal.
But if we're using video game logic, that's how it's described.
Exactly. But yeah, man, that's pretty much been me. I had fun with some trashy YouTube reality TV, and you know, Expedition 33. Passing it off to Brian.
All right, so first of all, it took me forever because I've been watching it at work and such, but finally finished Free Run season 1.
Nice. Thoughts?
Yeah.
I get why people say that it was robbed of anime.
Those anime awards are rigged, bro. Like, Solo Leveling is good, but it's not that good.
Like, listen. Crunchy is just out here doing some wildin' shit.
I think they did that because, you know, Crunchy's trying to maintain a good relationship with Webtoon so they could keep publishing their shit.
Well, also something else hit me. Free Run is on Netflix.
It's also
It's also on Crunchyroll.
I know, but Solo Leveling isn't.
Yeah, but Free Run was on Crunchyroll first.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the crazy
great little fantasy slice of life, and I like that when it does have action, oh boy.
Oh yeah.
So it can bring the thunder when it wants to bring the thunder, but the focus is not on that. It's more on the people and the journey.
It's like, it's the journey of self-discovery of an elf that has lived for so long that she is starting to learn that life.
She's kind of become numb to the world, and now she's really realizing like what immortality, or at least prolonged life, has like made her take for granted.
Yeah, and the people along the way that she's taken under her wing, like Fern, Stark.
Our boy Stark.
Love that little guy. I mean, he's not a little guy, but he has a little guy personality. He's not a little guy physically, but he definitely has a silly, goofy little guy personality.
And all the people of the
original party
but also the Wizard arc.
Oh yeah.
The Class A training arc.
The people who paired up rerun, the obvious lesbians.
Yep.
Yeah, that are totally not a couple.
Totally not.
Yeah, the thing about
how could they? They're only roommates. What do you mean? Like, say?
Yeah, roommates who like to sit on each other's heads.
You don't like this? You don't like to sit on your roommate's head?
Nah, if that's you, good for you, but not me.
Hey man, I'm not here to judge people's activities.
Yeah.
No, me neither. But I feel like getting involved with your coworker, getting involved with your roommate, is along the same lines of getting with a coworker.
I mean, not necessarily. The way I think about it, you're basically skipping the step. Eventually, the goal when you're in a relationship is to move in together, right? So there you go. You're already together.
I guess, but also, what happens if you split up?
I'm not saying it's not gonna get messy, but it's gonna get messy when you break up, regardless. If you move in with a girl, if you move in with a significant other, like, period.
Which does remind me, real quick, fast tangent of you talk about me being oblivious. There was a Reddit story of a guy where he's like, so me and my best friend, we own a business together. We're roommates. And I accidentally got her pregnant on a one-night stand, but we're still just friends, even though I have a crush on her.
My
brother in Christ. He is king of Delulu town.
Well, the internet was like, she clearly likes you, dude. Ask her out. She's the mother of your child.
Like,
and he's like, oh no.
Delulu.
But
Lulu, bro, is high as fuck.
But yeah, they did get together. He finally, after the internet, kicked him in the
good. I'm glad the internet can use its powers for good sometimes.
But listen, there's a lot of Reddit stories out there full of nothing but fucking nonsense.
Which actually does lead me to my.
There was one girl on that YouTube reality dating show on Dom's episode when the shit she described sounded like a Reddit story. Tony, the one that had several encounters involving brothers.
Oh my god! Oh yes! That
yeah, Blood V, I believe her name was one with the whole
Yeah.
Speaking of Reddit stories, I have been getting more into podcasts lately, because work and everything. And one of them, I've been watching the video version, but I finally got into listening to the audio version because that's a lot easier to have in the background.
Yeah, if you don't have YouTube Premium, not sponsored.
Yeah. Show on YouTube called Two Hot Takes. The lead chick Morgan and her wheel of guest hosts, which can sometimes include her family, but can sometimes include Smosh cast members. So, but it's really cool, and she doesn't have a lot of barriers. She will freely talk about stuff people are more adverse to talking about publicly, like sex stuff and period stuff.
There was a guy in the dating show on Ox's episode that just kept talking about shit because he has IBS. He just kept bringing up.
Oh, but yeah, and she'll sometimes get into the classic stories, and sometimes she'll revisit stories just to get to see her new guest's reaction. And the infamous stories on Reddit, if you've ever heard the slug story, the Jolly Rancher story, or the coconut story.
Something is telling me that there's some nefarious shit going on.
I have not heard of any of these, but I don't want to. Just where my imagination goes by hearing those titles.
Well, the coconut story, a dude found out that a coconut is apparently a good
fleshlight. Oh yeah, that's
it is
pretty common knowledge.
But he put it under his bed and he never washed it out.
Oh God, ew!
No, why?
Brother,
And you can imagine what stuff happens.
Brother,
yeah.
God, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with people?
There is nothing wrong with making a homemade sex toy. That's in fact, good on you for being innovative. But clean that shit up, dog. What?
Yeah, and you can imagine just the bad stuff that it would go to.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a fun little thing to just listen to in the background. Also, another podcast is the Re-Slayers Take, which don't know, Tony, you've heard about this.
I was curious, but I was focused on other stuff at the time.
Little preamble for this is Critical Role. They in 2024 launched. They're one of the people that decided to they didn't like Patreon, so they were going to do their own version. Mm-hmm. So it's a subscription service where you get fan exclusive stuff. It's called Beacon, Jay, and it's a reference to something in Campaign 2. Anyway, they as part of it, they acquired some other people, like Legends of the Stinky Dragon, if you've ever heard of that show. It's formerly Rooster Teeth's D&D show. But one of the ones is they started a new audio-only podcast with none of the main cast called The Reslayer's Take, which it is a podcast, actual play podcast, set in the world of Exandria, the world of Critical Role, but not starring any of the crew. And it takes place between campaigns 2 and 3. It's after 6 misfit mercenaries are rejected from the elite monster hunting squad, the Slayer's Take, they band together as the Reslayer's Take to battle supernatural creatures across the rugged continent of Ithura, which, if you'll remember, the Slayer's Take is the organization that Cash and Zara were a part of, that the Sphinx ran.
Yep.
Osisa. So it's cool to see like a different take on this like world and lore, and also the podcast itself is interesting because 2 of those 6 mercenaries are voiced by co-DMs. And basically what happened is they created the like story together, the 2 DMs, but one of them, like when they're actually DMing, is specifically taking charge of like the stage direction and everything. It's just when you meet NPCs, they will each voice a different one, like going off. And then they both voice DMPCs that join the party, and it's an interesting, definitely different version of this. This one is more like palatable for like freshman people too, because they specifically say that the way that they run it, you don't have to know D&D, and like since it is audio only and everything, they cut it down. It's only 50 minutes per episode, and they'll like keep you updated. Like this character is now at 57 hit points or something like that, and like they'll cut down like the fat of like a normal D&D.
The minutia of a regular tabletop, yeah.
Yeah. So it's really cool and different, and I really liked it. Also, I've been usually when I get sick, I get into like procedurals, and 911. I've been getting back into that one. I've been really enjoying it.
Yeah, you brought it up last time. I remember.
Yeah, I've been continuing to watch it.
Like Chimney and Buck's sister, played by Jennifer Love Hewitt, were a thing now and stuff.
Yeah, they are. Well, as of right now, they're actually married.
Oh, nice. Good for them.
But they had a kid first and were living together and were roommates, but didn't get married. It's one of those situations where it's like, so you're all but married, but you're not married. Why?
Might as well get the tax deduction.
Yep. And of course, because this is 911 and nothing can go smoothly, they got married in a hospital bed while he was recovering from a rare disease that nearly burned his brain to death.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And this season, the captain and his wife, who was the police, they went on a cruise as like a belated honeymoon, but obviously because it's 911, the cruise ship then crashed.
Of course.
And flipped, and the team had to go off books on a helicopter to go save them.
Oh, dang.
Yep, but that's where they met a guy who used to work there years ago, but moved away to the helicopter unit, Tommy. And it's in meeting Tommy that Buck realizes that he's bi.
Good for him.
And so they have this whole thing with Tommy, which, by the way, played by Lou Ferrigno Jr.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so
Baby Hulk.
that's all cool. And then this latest season, I've been slow to watch it because part of season 7, which was not the best, but also it's the writer's strike season, so they had to shorten everything. But part of that was that the captain, who I've mentioned before, used to be an alcoholic and started a fire.
Yep. I was around for that. That was revealed in like the first 2 seasons.
Well, apparently he gets reintroduced to a nurse who was a survivor of that fire, who lost his girlfriend in the fire, and so that caused him to majorly crash out.
I mean, understandable.
And he quit at one point, but at the end he was like, I changed my mind, I don't want to quit. And then the chief was like, too late, and he replaced him, but he replaced him with the 118's old captain, who is this older, gray-haired dude who is sexist, racist, and homophobic.
Oh, damn, all the boxes.
and he's currently their leader right now, which is why I'm like slower to watch it now, because don't want to deal with his frustrating ass, because the way that they've been dealing with the way that he's been dealing with the young buck who like goes off the like reservation. I want to say that, but that's probably an outdated phrase. But anyway,
Ryan, we know what you mean. It's fine. You could say off the reservation. It's a euphemism.
But anyway, he does like this crazy shit. Well, the way that this old hat captain is dealing with him is like, you went off the record, so you went off what I said, so you get punished for it. But hey, if it is good, I take credit for it. It was my idea. But I still won't say that you did a good job. I will just punish you. He's one of those old guys. So it's a little frustrating to watch, so I'm not eager to continue the season. Plus, they're doing an arc with the Eddie, the single dad, because he was dating a woman and then ran into a woman that was a spitting image of his dead wife, like literally played by the same actress. And like she came in and like acted as his dead wife to give him closure in a final moment, and like they had a like hug and I think a kiss. But of course, because TV, that is the moment that his current girlfriend and son walk in. And so the son is mad at him, so the son moves back to his grandparents who are in Texas. And we're going through that story arc right now, so it's like a lot of frustrating things going on right now. So it's like you're not exactly eager to watch the show that you started as just like brain rot to put on in the background. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's it for me.
Before we pass it to Tony, I will also say that it's been a few months or so I'm back to my normal cycle playing Yu-Gi-Oh again, especially because there's new Dark Magician support in the form of Primite cards. Even though it's not directly Dark Magician support, it's more normal monster support, so it helps all decks that prominently feature normal monsters. Blue Eyes uses it too, but it works really well with Dark Magician, and it makes my Dark Magician deck even better than it was before, so that's great. I've been playing a lot of the World Championship Qualifiers event. I'm not expecting to actually get in, but, you know.
I know at this current moment I'm not being able to qualify, but it's fun regardless.
Yeah, it's fun to play regardless, and, you know, free gems are free gems, so
it
is what it is. But yeah, go ahead, Tony.
Well, I am just focused on a lot of interesting situations concerning people's opinions on the MCU. Watched people restructuring like the multiverse saga with each individual phase. Like one guy just basically said, you know what, TV shows stupid. Let's make them all movies instead.
I mean, to be fair, there are a lot of those that could have just been movies.
No, that's just been, he's saying that all Marvel shows.
Okay, that's wild. But
yeah,
I could see a lot of them that could have just been movies.
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier totally could have been a movie, and I would have been okay with that.
Yep, WandaVision should have been
Loki.
A movie.
Yeah, he like this motherfucker decided, let's make Loki closer to the end of the multiverse, like somewhere in the like phase 5.
I don't know how Loki could be a movie. Loki kind of like
you basically
really needed to be a TV show.
Take the plot of the first season, then you just kind of add the ending of season 2. That's
what?
That feels weird, but alright.
Well, see. Also, the thing is that helped Loki is because it was a TV show. It meant that his like journey had more time to ruminate, and like he had more time to get to where he was at the end of season 2.
Yeah, it's not like stuff that I honestly think could have been a movie that pretty much was, and why it didn't really flow as well as a TV show. Like Moon Knight could have been a movie because it was basically structured like one. Miss Marvel could have been a movie, and I think actually would have been much better as a movie, to be honest with you. Even though I like the Miss Marvel show, don't get it twisted, Iman's awesome. But Miss Marvel could have been a movie. Born Again needed to be a TV show. That's no question about that one. Echo could have been a movie.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm sharing this with the chat in Discord because the main thing that I want to talk about is this particular YouTube channel. I'm only showing you guys the thumbnail because it helps with my memory.
Oh.
This guy right here, JTV Videos, started his own series of fixing the multiverse saga.
Oh.
Good thumbnail.
And because I started down this rabbit hole when I saw a video by a YouTube channel that had at least 3 A's in his name with a funny little doodle of him in a red hoodie. Like him crying.
Wait, I think I know. I think I've seen that channel before. That image rings a bell in my head.
Yeah, just the one tear coming out the closed eyes.
Yep.
Like a big old tear. So he wrote like a rough draft of a pure outline of how he would rework Brave New World by giving I'm talking about. So he changed the title of the movie to New World Order, the original title of Cap 4. Basically, got rid of Sidewinder and put Sharon Carter as the head of the Serpent Society.
Makes sense, actually. Okay. That's cool.
And the plan for the leader is actually super interesting in his rewrite because he basically created a situation where World War III was about to happen.
Oh.
So here's from what I can remember, the leader built Sentinels out of adamantium, and that's how the main crux of the Mr. Blue hypnotizing song.
Oh.
And he actually used members of the Serpent Society to basically go around the world and take control of the world leaders, kill said world leaders, and basically made all the nations of the world collectively revolt against their governments.
Interesting.
And it also includes a hero moment for Isaiah.
Nice.
Where he beat the shit out of Red Hulk while Sam was getting his ass kicked. And people actually cheered for Isaiah, so they kept the Isaiah going to jail plot. And instead of Ross having his assistant, they wrote in
the random widow lady.
No, yeah, so wrote her out completely.
Okay.
No, the black lady that was more connected to Ross.
Oh, the one that was Sam's friend.
Sam's cousin.
Sam's friend.
Yeah.
Were they cousins?
Yeah.
I thought they were just friends.
Yeah, they were just friends. I believe so.
I think they were cousins, but not as in blood.
Oh.
I was about to say, Brian, did you accidentally pull a racist?
What?
No.
But my point is, they replaced that character with the vice president, Ross's vice president, which was never really mentioned in the actual film. So the stock footage the stock image that they have for the vice president was just a black dude with glasses and a nice suit, which I think that would be very cool if Ross, when he was running for president, actually did something like that. Because you know that old Warhawk Ross, he definitely would need some help.
Oh yeah.
But the thing that had me out of control interested in this rewrite, the motivation for Stearns.
Okay.
In this rewrite, his New World Order idea was basically to get back at what Ross did to him for all those years.
So they kept that plot of Ross using Stearns as a shadow think tank person, giving all the ideas.
Yes.
And shit. Okay.
Yeah. So he didn't even want to take over the world in this rewrite. He just wanted peace. So he just did it to give a middle finger to Ross's legacy and fucks off.
Yeah. Okay.
But you know where he went to?
Where?
In a nice little cottage near a castle. Castle Doom.
I figured you were gonna say that. Interesting.
So he just immigrated himself. It's like so I'm going to Latveria. Peace, motherfuckers.
Screw you guys. I'm going to do.
Yeah, but this whole rewrite for this particular YouTube channel, because the video I just talked about was a different video different channel entirely. So with this one, they did a similar structure to what the regular MCU did, but changed things around. So there are 7 shows and 7 films within this phase.
Okay.
I think that was the case for Phase 4.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing that I can remember that was interesting in this particular rewrite that JT Videos did is that he made the Black Widow movie a TV show, and the first TV show.
That actually would have probably worked better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he also specified that the Taskmaster of the show would have been the Tony Masters. Taskmaster. And the way that he kind of structured it, the first couple episodes is basically about young Natasha, Yelena, Alexei, and the mom, the whole beginning part of the Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
And it's basically showing the entire origin of Natasha just as a nice send-off to her. So basically her growing up with the family, then going into the Red Room, actually getting what Budapest meant.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, it was a very interesting little deep dive.
Sounds cool.
He fundamentally changed how the Hawkeye show worked, basically giving him the villain Trickshot, his brother.
Oh, Barney. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And you know who wore the Ronin suit in this rewrite that JT did?
Who?
Eleanor, fucking Kate's mom.
Huh. That's actually interesting.
Yeah, and you know who Trickshot in the reveal is that Trickshot was working for Fisk.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, but those are out of the things that I can remember fully. Oh, and the rewrite for Thor, he changed it to instead of Love and Thunder, it's God of Thunder.
Yeah,
Or
it's weird that they never did that for any of the titles.
No, crazy, right? I think it was his rewrite or another rewrite that the other guy I mentioned in the past did. I went down this rabbit hole, but the main crux of what I'm talking about here is that he had, like, JT Videos here has an entire series of how he would rewrite all of the MCU if Marvel didn't sell all their film rights to their characters.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
So there's an entire playlist starting from Phase 1 going to what's currently from Phase 1 to current to even far beyond.
Interesting.
Still the same structure, and I'm into the Infinity Saga. I think I just got into Phase 2. And the interesting thing is that the first Avengers film doesn't have Cap or Hawkeye in it.
I mean, that makes sense. Cap wasn't a founding Avenger.
Neither was Hawkeye.
And you know what's the most entertaining thing? Is like the casting ideas that he had. Instead of Scott being the first Ant-Man in the MCU, well,
I mean, Hank
you know what I mean.
First Ant-Man.
No, like the star.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
so you know who he casted this younger Hank that's actually the same age as the other characters?
Uh-huh.
Our favorite pick to play Reed.
Oh, Krasinski?
Mm-hmm.
I could see it.
Oh, yeah.
I could totally see it. He could definitely play that that inferiority complex really well as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And he also, and of course, to keep the family, like to keep that dynamic and relationship, he also casts Krasinski's wife to play Jan, I believe.
Oh,
Emily Blunt.
No, that's good.
Mhm.
That's good.
And the most entertaining thing to me, at least, is that the Ant-Man films of this particular rework are hilarious. Because you know who's the first villain that Ant-Man and the Wasp has a tangle with?
Egghead.
No,
Oh.
MODOK.
Oh, MODOK off the bat. Interesting.
Yeah, because Pym Industries was just working for AIM until he figured out the Pym particle. Decided, I don't need you anymore, AIM. Fuck you, and leaves.
Oh.
And then
it
they don't-
was an AIM scientist.
Yeah, and then the second film, you know what the subtitle for Ant-Man and the Wasp 2 was?
What?
Nano Wars.
Nano Wars. Interesting.
Because he gets to fight Darren Cross's Yellow Jacket in this movie. Because Cross got info from AIM.
Interesting that they kept Darren
That's
Cross.
a nice tie-in.
Yeah.
I mean, Darren Cross is an actual Ant-Man villain, so.
Yeah, so there are connections. Like what he did, what JT does, is he takes the initial casting of everyone in the MCU, and he casts for characters that would fit, that haven't been casted at the time, because he started this project 2 years ago. So he completely recasted Namor, even though the actor who plays Namor in Wakanda Forever did a fantastic job, but he chose a different actor. Yeah. But here's the crazy thing. You know who he cast to play Johnny? Because he made the Fantastic Four basically the replacement for the Guardians. I'll give you a hint. It's a Spidey actor.
Andrew Garfield?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see it. Totally see it.
And you know who he has playing Reed?
Who?
Keanu.
That one I didn't see coming.
Yeah, in their film, they basically get to fight Mole Man.
Cool.
And then there's
the new one too.
And then in their second film, they basically help Wakanda. Well, they basically go to Wakanda and fight Namor.
No, that makes sense because I mean, T'Challa first appeared in Fantastic Four.
Yep. Yeah, he's going at it like more comic accurate in this restructuring.
No, I dig that. I respect that.
And a lot of the things that he changes are actually very fascinating. Because you know what's the craziest thing for the Spider-Man film of the Infinity Saga? He still keeps Tom Holland. He still keeps Ned. Like, he keeps everything that made Homecoming. One thing that was a bit different.
Okay.
Because this is the most iconic and I think perfect casting. He basically did the fusion dance of the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man film and Homecoming, made it do the fusion dance.
Okay. Okay.
So the initial plot with Norman becoming the Green Goblin, Raimi films, but with added MCU embellishments, but mixing it with a little bit of Homecoming.
Okay, in what way?
So taking like the overall story of Peter having a connection to Stark and the school life thing, but mixing in elements of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, like having Norman be the first antagonist and being completely unhinged and crazy, but adding MCU isms to it.
Gotcha.
And also he completely recasted Flash Thompson.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, not that that actor was bad, but he also kind of wasn't really there too much, so...
My favorite thing out of his rewrites, because with some individual parts he has to elaborate further. You know what the sequel to this version of the MCU Spider-Man's film, like the sequel film, is? It's a team-up movie with Daredevil.
That would be dope as fuck.
And you know what it's called?
What?
Spider-Man Blind Spot.
Oh, that's great.
And you know who are the villains in this movie?
If I was gonna go comic accurate, Ringmaster, because Circuits of Fear, because their first team up was against Ringmaster and the Circuits of Fear.
There is someone who is related to circus stuff, but it's not Ringmaster.
It's a circus stuff, not Ringmaster. Don't know.
Jester.
Huh? Okay.
Mr. Negative, and the Shocker.
Interesting.
Because Jester was hired by Kingpin to basically grow and expand into Queens, because he's pissed at the devil of Hell's Kitchen. And Kingpin is played by D'Onofrio.
Okay.
And Daredevil is still Charlie Cox. And you know what's the inciting incident that causes Spidey and Daredevil to actually fight the villains?
What?
To team up? Pete is about to get evicted from his apartment. Because Mr. Negative is mind controlling, well, using his powers to basically jack the prices up of the neighborhood.
Okay.
And you know how he's doing that? Through feet.
You said feet?
Beast.
Oh, I thought you said feet. I was like, what?
Yeah, I heard feet too. I was like, what?
Enunciation of you guys.
I was very confused for a second. I was like,
Oh,
I didn't know that Mr. Negative.
I was like, Mr. Negative out here selling feet.
No.
It's okay. We got it now. We got it now.
Feast.
Yeah.
Basically, the element from
the Insomniac games, yeah.
Yeah. And also, shit got crazy with that particular one. Oh, before I forget, guess who he decided to cast the Black Panther in this version of the MCU?
Oh, who?
Michael B. Jordan.
I could see it. I mean, he was pretty... He technically played a Black Panther for a bit.
Yeah.
He was.
But
he was Black Panther for a portion.
Yep, and people think that they're going to get him to play a multiversal Black Panther.
There's also a theory that because the comics just introduced T'Challa's white son, that they might actually introduce T'Challa's...
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
So, I hope you would know more than this, because I'm actually quite curious about that, Jay.
Okay, we can talk about it in the interim between Terrible Talk, but yeah, is that it for you?
Pretty much it, because he just, JT Videos just posted his rewrite for Phase 5, and I'm very curious to actually see that.
But you'll have to wait till next time for Tony to go over it.
Yeah, yep.
So now we are getting into Trailer Talk, which is, of course, the segment of the podcast where Brian, our good friend here, has gathered together 6, count them 6, not necessarily brand new, but new to us trailers, in a handy-dandy place you can find in the description down below.
And I hope you don't mind, but this time it is 7.
Alright, well, that's fine. You know, spicing.
Because the first one is
like a 60-second trailer or something, or a teaser.
It's a first look. It's a first look thing. It's a normal length, but it's not a full trailer.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right, so 7 this time. You folks are in for a treat. So yeah, the playlist, as per usual, is linked in the description down below. So you can check that out. Pause the video, react to those videos, watch those trailers, and then through the magic of editing, in a split second for you guys, we will be back with our reactions to said trailers in rapid fire fashion. But until then, please enjoy this word from our non-existent sponsor. And we're back. Okay, great set of trailers. And I mean, one sneak peek. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. My baby boy is here. He's adorable. They didn't make him a little nightmare creature. He looks so fucking cute. They put a lot more like Paddington energy into it. And I love it.
Little bro is just out here. He vibing. This dear boy, he is here.
And he's got the personality. I love the voice. Oh my goodness. I didn't think they could do it. I didn't think they could do it. But it looks like they did it.
Yeah, and they extra fingies.
They did.
And the detail on his hat.
Oh, yeah. I also appreciate that his nose is more of a faded blue to match more with his skin tone. Because, in the anime and the manga, it's more of like a bright blue to accentuate. Because obviously Chopper is a riff off of Rudolph, because he's Chopper the blue-nosed reindeer.
Yeah, just a genetic freak of a deer.
He is.
Yep.
And then, he got even more freaky when he ate a magical fruit that turned him into a cave person. Well, let him transform into like a big beefy Cro-Magnon like form. You'll see later.
Yeah, and protect your man.
Exactly.
The voice actress who voices him, her name is Michaela Hoover. I tried Googling her to see what she's been in. She's relatively new. She's had small roles in like The Suicide Squad.
What would have been
some Hallmark stuff.
Would have been funny.
But I was just gonna say real quick that her biggest thing before this was she was actually the voice actress for Floor the Rabbit in Guardians 3.
Oh, nice.
But here's the important thing: is she Canadian?
Is she Canadian? That is true. That is important. They got all the proper ethnic castings. Well, Luffy's not technically correct because the actor for Luffy he's Mexican, but we'll let that one slide.
No, she is not. She is American of Iranian, Italian, and Spanish descent.
Oh, that's fine. Canada is America's counted.
Yeah.
But it's actually her star is gonna rise very quickly because not only is she in this, but she's also in another upcoming thing that we're really excited for. A little film called Superman.
Oh, nice. Who's she gonna be in Superman?
She's Cat Grant.
Oh, shit.
No.
Also,
so who that bombshell was in with the blonde hair.
Also, side note, I think it would have been funny if they got the dub voice actress for Pikachu to voice Chopper, because in Japanese, Chopper's voice actress is the same voice actress for Japanese Pikachu.
Yep, speaking of that particular that voice act, like Pokemon voice actors, regardless if they be sub or dub, do some funny shit.
Oh yeah.
Like, the favorite one to always point out, as a Toku fan, Best Boy Bondario is voiced by Satoshi.
It's voiced by Satoshi, that's so funny. But yeah, so, the boy is here, we're happy about it. I'm especially happy about it.
He's on a nightmare creepy.
One that we're not excited for, which I thought we were just conceptually because it's YA mess, but it just looks meh, the trailer.
It was really bland, and I don't care about it.
We were liars.
Yeah, I don't really care about a bunch of rich blonde white people and their racism towards this random brown guy.
Yeah.
Leave that man alone.
Come on. Yeah.
Yep. The only thing is, apparently, what's her face is gonna be in it? Caroline.
Oh, Caroline's actress from Vampire Diaries. That's cool.
Yeah, she's gonna be in it.
She was one of Julie's favorites, which is why Bonnie's actor got kind of hosed.
Yep.
Over preferential treatment for Caroline.
Not to talk bad about Caroline's
actress, because I think she's great, and I think Caroline was one of my favorite characters, but Bonnie was still treated terribly.
Yeah. She is playing the main chick's mom, which the main chick Jay, you'd actually recognize her, because she was the one who played Flashback Amanda in Revenge.
Oh.
She was also in both Babysitter movies.
Oh, that was the Babysitter girl.
Mm-hmm.
I always I confuse her for Catherine Newton all the time. It's because of the eyes.
Oh yeah. Yep, indeed. And also, not only did they have like all white cast except for the brown guy, they got the go-to brown guy to play his dad.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of the, he's become one of those actors. It's like, oh, we need an Indian guy. Somebody call Robbie from iZombie.
Ralph Cooley.
Great actor.
Yeah.
Fantastic guy.
But I'm not looking forward to this show.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip it. It's a skip for me.
Probably gonna skip it. But a different Amazon show that is completely different that I'm probably not gonna skip.
It's probably not a skip. Is the Jensen Ackles one?
Countdown.
It's the final countdown. Had to make that joke.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm excited. Like, I always like to see Jensen in his action bag, and like the more I see it, the more I'm just like, yo, make this dude Batman. Like,
make him the Batman.
He was already Batman, but like make him live action 3D Batman.
Yep.
Yes.
But speaking about DC, I am happy to see Gypsy's actress again.
Oh yeah, she was totally wasted.
That character.
She was totally wasted. Like they got her into the relationship with Cisco and just did not know what to do with her. But there was a fun episode that was tangentially related to her, where we got to meet her dad, who was played by Danny Trejo, who is always a treasure.
Yep. And also in the show is playing like the captain, I guess, is the creepy dad from Euphoria.
Yeah, the one that's is Nate's dad, right?
Yep, that got with Jules in the first episode.
Yep. But yeah, so that one we're actually gonna probably check out, especially if we have time to cover it in the pod, because it looks like it actually has it's not a procedural where it's episodic. It actually has an overarching storyline, very similar to Tony and Ziva, which we reacted to before as well.
Oh yeah.
So that one's on the radar. Something else on the radar. I don't know if this is in order, but Guillermo del Toro, my goodness. It feels like they gave him his dream project, because like this feels like a thing that he was born to make.
Oh yeah.
It is an adaptation of arguably the most foundational piece in Gothic literature and one of the first sci-fi novels.
Oh yeah.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Yep. Or what's the other?
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, The Modern Prometheus.
The Modern Prometheus. There we go. Yeah.
Yep.
So with its adaptation looking to be more book accurate, even down to the fucking boats in the Arctic.
And all the fact that they showed so many Arctic scenes makes me believe that it is actually following the plot of the book. Because if you ask a general Frankenstein fan about Frankenstein, if they haven't read the book, then like, what the fuck does the Arctic have to do with any of this?
And the one thing about the monster, or Adam, as we like to refer to him,
because that is the name he ended up coming up with for himself. And it's the name in the notes within the journals, because if you don't know, you've never read the book, which by the way, read, kids. It's actually a series. The format it's in is like a series of journals, like cobbled together, and
that was so Dracula. That was more so Dracula's thing,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew Dracula was like that. I thought Frankenstein also did the same kind of thing.
Yeah, Dracula was written in such a way that it was treated like a found footage film, but in book.
Yeah.
Shelley wrote Frankenstein in a way that basically told the story from Victor's perspective for the most part.
Yeah.
And I love how Overly Sarcastic Productions put this. How his melancholy and the fact that he got the eye color of his creation wrong is what set him off on this path of self-destruction.
Pretty much.
And also, think of it like this. When you're not as great of a mad scientist as Dr. Henry Jekyll, something is wrong with you.
Also, something interesting that most people don't know. The creature isn't actually ugly, if you go by the book.
No.
He's actually very handsome. The only thing that throws him off as being inhuman, like Tony alluded to, is the eye color. I believe he has red eyes, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it's red eyes, because due to how the nature of the how the animation, the animating process works, by the way,
another fun fact, the whole galvanization, electricity, it's alive. That's all a Hollywood adage.
Yeah, but since it wasn't explained in the book, Hollywood got creative, and that's been the whole.
And it's kind of now been cemented in canon, regardless. So, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't change anything, but I always just like to throw that one out there.
Which will show, if you intentionally things vague, nothing can always live up to how the process works.
Yep.
How some Lovecraft adaptations don't work, and how some Ito manga doesn't work in anime form.
Most of them don't, apparently.
But yeah, the cast here is amazing.
It looks
you
great.
got
It's dripping in like Del Toro aesthetic. Like if you know, you know. If
you got Oscar Isaac as Victor Frankenstein.
Yep.
Jacob Elordi as Frankenstein's monster.
We just talked about Nate, so they funny enough.
Yep. Mia Goth as Elizabeth.
Ooh.
Yep.
Nice.
Christopher Waltz as Harlander.
Oh, interesting.
And playing the Captain Anderson, is Thrawn himself, Lars Mikkelsen.
Nice.
Now, will Anderson be writing a letter to his sister about the whole encounter from your story? So,
and I'm also curious, like, is this movie gonna go into the whole, like, the full-on vengeance, like, the crazy vengeance plot? Because, like,
the monster,
he murders all of Victor's family. Like, you know, spoilers for hundreds of year-old novel, but you know, he murders all of Victor's family, and he saves Victor for last.
If you look in that trailer, there is a moment where Oscar Isaac just looks completely terrified. So yeah. Probably. But also in the cast, like as like unknown roles, or at least not on Wikipedia, are very classic old actors, great actors. David Bradley, who was Angus Finch and Walder Frey.
Nice. Walder.
And then speaking of Game of Thrones, Charles Dance.
I was confused. I was confused by the first one because I realized when you said Walder, I now know what you meant. You meant Filch from Harry Potter. You said Finch, and I was like, who's Finch? Got it.
My bad.
Yeah, once you said Walder, though, I got who it is. Charles Dance.
But also,
nice.
Yep.
Love that guy. He was also funny enough. This isn't Charles Dance's first time in a classic modern monster movie adaptation. He was also in Dracula Untold as the head vampire that turned Vlad Tepes.
Now, there is an easier transition to the next trailer, but I want to save that for later, because first we do have to go over the one that you did skip, Jay.
Oh, did I skip one? What did I skip?
Good Fortune.
Oh, yeah.
Which seems like a fun ride. We're probably not going to cover it, but it seems like a fun ride.
It looks like a funny concept. I mean, Aziz Ansari is funny as hell, and it's written and directed by
love Aziz.
Love that guy. And I mean, Keanu Reeves as a budget angel is hilarious.
That's a funny concept there.
Indeed.
And like Keanu doesn't rarely gets to flex his comedy chops anymore, and people forget that he's really funny. He started off in Bill and Ted, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Like comedy, granted, stoner comedy, but comedy, yes.
Yeah.
And it does look like Aziz called in all of his friends to play the rest of the cast.
Yeah, when you have a random woman basically say, "I'm gonna try to sit on that guy's face."
I mean, to be fair, I'm sure plenty of women have said that about Keanu Reeves.
I mean, yes, but it's just like hearing that out loud. Yeah.
It is pretty hilarious.
Yeah, Cherry Cole is her name. Very funny lady.
But yeah. So that one might be one that we check out on the side, but not cover on the main pod.
But one that we are gonna cover, because we covered the first one, and it might be our last one of the year again, depending on how things go.
Oh my goodness! I did not know this was out already, which is wild.
And I'm glad,
because I follow all the theater-related shit.
I was so surprised when Jay didn't know that this was out.
I did not, and I'm glad I
Wicked
did.
for Good.
Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm so hyped. Wicked was probably my movie of the year last year.
Same.
And I was in tears. I had chills. This movie is phenomenal. And this one, I pointed it out when we were reacting to it, and I just realized that, is it John Chu? What's
M.
Jim Chu?
John M. Chu.
John M. Chu? Okay, yeah. So John M. Chu, genius move, dividing it like this, because, obviously Defying Gravity is the most iconic song from Wicked. It's the one everybody knows, even if you don't really know Wicked like that. But it's a song, they end on a song where Cynthia gets to shine, and boy did she shine. And one of the few complaints that I hear from people, even people that like the movie, is that Ariana kind of took a back seat and really didn't get to flex her muscles as much. But For Good is mostly a Glenda song. And if you thought you were gonna cry, if you thought you cried at Defying Gravity, as someone who is obsessed with this musical, has been obsessed with this musical since he was 11, this song makes me cry every time.
Like you were getting choked up just in the preview.
Oh my god. Because if you know the context, and if I've also listened to interviews from the composer slash songwriter about how he came up with this song. So, fun fact, because this won't spoil any context for the play, musical, or movie. So, fun fact, one of the songwriters for the musical talked about For Good, and he talked about how For Good was his favorite song because he came up with this song by having a conversation with his daughter about her best friend, who was her best friend basically from like age 3 until she was like 20 or 30 at this time. And she was like, I want you to describe to me what it would be like to say goodbye to that friend, and like what that friend means to you. And that's how he wrote the song. And the overall theme is like, because I knew you, I changed for the better. And like it's such a beautiful song, and the way it ends the show, like, oh my god, I already know I'm going to be a hysterical mess in that theater when this movie comes out. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Oh man, this is gonna be so good. But yeah, this is I don't know how to transition from this, but
from what we have seen when it comes to defying gravity, a video game has exceeded our expectations.
Now, I had no idea that this was a thing until I was looking for trailers, but apparently these guys did.
Oh yeah.
Because immediately right before we were about to play, they were like, "Oh, have you heard of so?" And I'm like, "It's in the trailers."
Yeah, because the PlayStation Showcase had happened, and me and Tony were talking about it, and we were just kind of shooting the shit. And yeah, I'm so excited for this game, and I'm so glad that it's not locked behind the PS5 wall, because your boy doesn't have PS5.
And for those that don't know, he's talking about Marvel Tokon?
Yeah.
Fighting Soul.
It's a 4v4 fighting game by Arc System Works, but with Marvel characters.
4v4 2D fighter, to be more specific, because 2D fighters and 3D fighters also operate on different planes. So you got to also always specify that one.
Yep, that is true.
So far we only have 8 characters. No problem. I'm a big fighting game head, even though I'm terrible at fighting games. They are one of my passions and hyperfixations. We have 8 characters on this opening roster, and it's a solid opening roster, or at least in terms of like characters announced. Because obviously, a fighting game isn't just going to have 8 characters. But the characters that we've seen in the trailers are, of course, Steve Rogers, Captain America, Iron Man, Tony Stark. Fucking Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, which I'm glad Kamala will be in a good video game. After the last debacle.
Oh yeah. Well, her first ever video game
was a debacle.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Avengers. She was the main character in Avengers.
She was in a game before that.
She was in a game before that? Oh, I didn't know that. I focus on Marvel.
The Marvel Lego game.
Oh, I don't count. I don't count those. Everybody's in those. I was talking about the first game she featured prominently.
Yeah, where she's like a focus character.
Well, I think she had a focus role in that at one point. But anyway, back to this game though. Miss Marvel's in it.
Kamala looks great, and I'm also glad that it's more comic based because she's stretching, using her actual powers, not the MCU.
No hard light BS.
She's embiggening.
I'm happy.
Yep.
I'm so happy. And also, seeing Kamala in action made me be like, yo, Arxis. So a One Piece fighting game. I know you did Dragon Ball. Where's that One Piece at though, dog?
What art?
I want a Arxis One Piece game so bad. Neither here nor there. The rest of the roster, we have Peter Quill, Star-Lord, Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. By the way, since this is clearly very Japanese, given its token and such, if they do not have a skin of the Ambassador of Hell, Spider-Man, I'm going to be very...
Give us Spider-Man with the one web shooter on his fucking wrist.
That is also a henshin device.
Yes, absolutely.
And
that also leads to...
And for his ult, he has to summon Leopardon.
He has to have the giant robot. He has to have the robot. It is required.
Oh my god, like, they need to do it. Or at least make Toku Spider-Man a DLC character. I would totally have Toku Spider-Man.
Hell yeah. But also, of course, the man himself, the myth, the absolute legend, Victor Von Doom.
Oh my god. And he plays actually very similar to MVC, too. He's got the commander and everything.
Oh yeah.
And also,
And I like the whole
Which
he summons a Doombot as an assist move.
which I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
I will say though, I do kind of agree with a little bit with the fighting game community at large, who, you know, we're excited, but we're also kind of sad because this might be a death nail in MVC.
oof.
Because like, if Marvel's gonna be like, no, we can do our own shit. We don't need to license Capcom. We can make our own shit. Fuck you, Capcom.
Oh yeah, because this is very Marvel vs.
It
Capcom-esque.
feels like classic MVC, not the bullshit we got from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
But while incorporating elements of modern games like the wall break mechanic.
Yeah, stage transitions. Which Mortal Kombat really popularized, but I'm glad more games are taking it. As a thing.
Yeah.
They have.
But also in the game though, as part of the cast is Star-Lord.
Yep, yeah, we mentioned
And-
Peter Quill, Peter Parker.
And then also this
Robbie
game is
Reyes,
not.
Fighter.
Yup,
Robbie Reyes.
Robbie.
That's honestly who I'm the most excited for, because I'm glad they went with Robbie and not Johnny or Danny, because like he's my favorite, not just because he's Mexican, but because the origin of his powers was so interesting and his car is fucking dope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
We've had Johnny and Danny before
Yeah,
in fighting games.
They were both in MVC.
Yeah, but the characters that I am excited for the most probably are Ghost Rider and the one Gooner-friendly character.
You're telling me you don't goon to Doom? Shame, Brian. Shame.
But to the upcoming Storm.
I mean, yeah. But
It's obvious.
you know, our Lord and Savior, all hail Doom. We must goon to Doom.
Oh, hell.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
Hashtag Doom.
Goon. Hashtag goon to Doom. But yeah,
Make that event. Let's make it happen.
yeah. Like I'm excited. Storm looks great.
Hey.
You know they're gonna release more characters. You can't have a fighting game and not have Wolverine. Like that's mandatory.
Yeah.
And he better yell Berserker Barrage at least once.
I wonder if, thanks to his like popularity in Rivals, if we're gonna get Bucky.
Maybe. I would love to see Jeff the Land Shark. My boy, yeah.
For Jeff.
Jeff would be fun.
I would love to throw fins at people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know how it would work mechanically, but like if you could make Kumo work in Tekken, you could make Jeff.
Also, depending on his size, his hitbox would be.
insane. But we saw Rocket.
Hell,
We saw Rocket in there. So
no, listen. This is a deep cut for most fighting games that people forget about. Yoda was a thing in Soul Calibur.
it was a menace.
That's right.
It was an absolute menace in Soul Calibur.
Like,
He was
wasn't he the exclusive for the Xbox?
He was the exclusive for Xbox.
Yeah, because he and Vader were
Yeah, Vader,
like.
Vader was the PlayStation 1, Yoda was the Xbox.
No, PlayStation 1 was Kratos.
No, I feel like one Soul Calibur game.
I was gonna say it was Vader. It was definitely Vader.
When it comes to the Star Wars characters, Yoda was an exclusive for one console. Vader was the exclusive for the other. I remember this.
Okay, then yeah, because Xbox was Yoda because they were like, hey, green.
Yeah.
And then Link was for the Nintendo.
Hey, yeah, for at least Soul Calibur 2. I know this to be the case.
Soul Calibur 2 was the one I really loved. That was the one that had Yoda and Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Yoda and Vader was 4. 4 was Yoda and Vader.
4 was Yoda.
But yeah, it would be a misstep if, because I know people are saying that it's a misstep that he isn't in Rivals yet, but I think it would be a huge misstep if Matt wasn't in this game.
Matt needs to be there. Wade needs to be there. There's a lot of options. I just Psylocke needs to be there. Psylocke needs to be there.
But would it be Bets or Homegirl?
Probably Quantum. Because most people know. Well, since they seem to be going more comic accurate, it would probably be Quantum because Quantum is Psylocke, right? Because Betsy is Captain Britain.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah. And, Quantum is the one in the iconic costume.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we care about.
Yeah.
Rivals will tell you that much.
But technically, Fern is from. Isn't she from the Peach Days universe?
Yeah. Well, technically, okay, so the one from Rivals is from Peach, is from the Momoko-verse, yes. But
Yeah.
But
she wears the costume as one of
Yeah. The costume. Yes.
we're excited for this game.
This was everybody was talking about all the stuff from the showcase, like Death Stranding 2, all this other shit, blah 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 blah. I don't give a fuck. I didn't care. I don't have a PS5. But then I saw this, and I was like, yeah.
Like, listen. Something that I mentioned while we were watching trailers, Pokemon's Story Time Stranger, that's coming out this October 3rd, and the trailer for that is awesome. It's off the fucking chain.
But like, I love fighting games. I'm terrible at them, but I love fighting games.
And they take up all of your time.
They really do, because I really do be trying to laugh.
Like, if you go back and you watch or listen to Channel Chase podcast, there was an era where it's like, so Jay, what's your screen time? Oh, I've just been playing Tekken. Oh, I've just been playing Street Fighter.
And to be fair, I actually do still play Street Fighter. They got me back when they added Mai and Terra. Also, side note, Fatal Fury City of Wolves is also out. It's been out for a while, a few months now. And that game is awesome. If you are a fighting game fan, check that shit out. I love fighting games. I'm terrible at, but like I'm very passionate about fighting games in general. That was the shit I grew up playing as a kid. I used to hang out at the skating rink with my friends. While the rest of them would go skating, I would just be chilling at the Tekken machine.
Oh, so you didn't get the chair. Because the one time that I went ice skating, as you can imagine, with me, fell on my ass and beat my ass. So for the rest of...
It wasn't ice skating, it's a roller skating.
Oh, roller skating,
We
okay.
had both, but like, not to sound like we're segregating, mostly the white people went to this ice skating rink.
Well, I gotta tell you, it was not fun because after I've beat my ass, they then brought out, oh, here's the chair that people push people around in.
I mean, like back in those days, they wouldn't let me go in my chair in the ring. They had like a little ramp that I could go in, and I could actually they would slow shit down, and I could do that, and that was fun.
Nice.
I wouldn't be there the whole time. I would honestly spend most of my time at the Tekken machine.
Oh yeah, most of my time when we were ice skating though was spent at the ice cream machine because they had a Japanese soft serve vending machine there. Yeah.
Yeah. So Marvel Token, that's a day one buy. That's a day one buy, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, comes that year.
Yep.
And it will probably be a shared screen time, but that's about it. We don't cover video games here.
But hopefully this will finally be a game that Brian, I don't know, actually puts on his computer so he can play with us. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Shove, shove.
Now that I actually have a JOB, I might end up
Bitch, you
buying
had
the
a computer.
PlayStation.
You had a computer. You told us now that you had a
I know.
computer for so long. You already had
I know. But right as I was about to start this whole thing, I got sick on my ass.
Fair enough. But still.
Man.
To keep listeners, we've been on Brian's ass to play Rivals with us for like at least a month and a half now. That we know he actually has the facilities to be able to play with us.
Well, yeah.
So, Brian. So I'm not gonna let Brian just walk away with oh, I was sick this week. Yeah, this week we've been on your ass for a while now, dog. We were trying to get you to play since season 2 started. We're in 2.5 now.
Yeah, we want you to join in the fun with us, man.
Shoot, the only reason, we have been excluding you from the Me and Tony hangouts is because you don't play right.
Oh no,
You know-
I get that, dude. And I've worked through my shit. I don't get as butthurt as I used to.
I know, but
Yeah, but
the point is,
we still have to bring it up. We're still just trying to get you.
Which-
So get your ass on this game. We will grind you up to level 10.
Oh shit, that totally reminds me. I forgot to mention a screen time. There's a new episode of Dropout, and basically a bunch of female presenting people came in, like 8, and he had them do collective challenges while drinking, and then comes and you get money for each challenge. But then he revealed that one of the people is the secret sober. And they're trying to sabotage everyone because the money that they lose from that challenge goes into the secret sober's pot. And when they reach the final 3, if the secret sober is still there, the secret sober gets the money from their pot and the other people don't get anything. Yeah. So, but thinking about like playing games with your friends and all that made me think of that. But it was really cool. This season of Game Changer, he's really upped his ante, Sam Reich. But anyway, sorry.
Now we can get into the main event.
Oh my god.
This season was phenomenal. I really enjoyed the first season on record. We don't have the. We didn't start recording our scores last year. So we don't have the score on record. But on record, in terms of like actual praises, I really liked season 1. I thought Chudy did amazing. But now he managed to do better. Like, in the first season, he just showcased how he was just a good doctor overall in terms of charisma and personality. But throughout this season, he shows so much race. Like,
oh yeah.
Like he's obviously the same like charismatic, funny doctor that we saw in the first season. But in this season, he gets fucking scary.
Well, because the thing is one of the like key essential things about his doctor over the rest is that he's more in tune with his emotions. Well, this time we got to see like how he is in tune with his negative emotions.
Yeah, because like that's the thing about the doctor overall. Because the doctor has always been a very like not entirely stoic, but very emotionally closed off character. You never really get to see how they're feeling except in like small rare moments. But Chudy's doctor 15 has always wore their heart on their sleeve.
Yeah. But one of the things about the doctor is that part of the reason why they need a companion is because if they don't have the companion for too long, they start to embrace.
Yeah, they start to become more of like the cold, calculating type. Like the companions bring out their humanity.
Yeah.
But like 15 is the most human doctor out of them all. Like he. And like one of the big recurring themes of this season is the doctor's love of humanity and like what he sees in humanity, or like that makes humanity his favorite species. And again, the amount of like rage and like kind of sadisticness that he pulls off in this, I did not think he had it in him. But boy, that like ice in my heart speech that he gives in a episode.
Interstellar Song Contest.
My goodness.
Oh yeah.
I was scared.
Ooh.
And like a man, and Bell, his companion was like, whoa. I haven't been with him for long, but he isn't like that. I need to go find him.
Because if he's like that, I know his potential. He could go.
Yeah, he could go. And boy, was he close. Also, what I liked about this season is that we did get our new companion Belle, Miss Belinda Chandra, or just Belinda Chandra. But Ruby wasn't just tossed to the side. We still got to see Ruby, and what she's been up to, and she still plays an important part in this plot for the season. And I think, again, we'll get into speculation towards the end, post spoilers, but I think Ruby will still be relevant going forward.
I believe it.
Especially because of her unique talent.
Yep. I definitely think that'll come into play. But yeah, overall, this was just such a great season. And like, I wouldn't say every episode was like that, but like,
no.
There weren't. But I also would say that there aren't any bad episodes, like outright bad episodes.
I agree with
that. The first season, I think there were some bad episodes, like the
Space Babies.
Space Babies was a bad episode. I think
Dot and Bubble.
Dot and Bubble. I thought that was a bad episode, but like this season not only had any bad episodes, and or just I think if you are a fan of 15, you will totally enjoy it, and if you haven't seen 15, because understand Jodie's run was kind of jump in, man. Like he's a great doctor, and I think you will enjoy the ride.
Yeah, since this is the only Doctor that I've seen fully, like the only Doctor's run that I've seen fully, I love this guy. I love this Doctor.
And also, this were immaculate. There was
Oh, yeah.
single bad
And-
thing.
And to like do the complete adverse of Tony, as someone who loves Doctor Who and has seen some of classic Who, I agree. This was a great season. And also, just as a little bit there, I like the they're continuing the whole like bits of just random lore drop here and there.
And also, I like that this feels like a serialized Doctor Who's been in a while, because like not only did they like continue deepening the mystery of the movie, but the biggest mysteries that we thought was just kind of a side turned out to be like the mystery of the season, which is the mystery of Mrs. Flood.
But also, on top of that, they left a couple mysteries hanging for next season. Yeah. And also, I do appreciate them, like, keeping the continuity. Like, I don't like all the stuff that happened in the Jodie era, but I like that they're keeping the continuity of that.
Yeah.
And also, I know some people find it annoying, but I do like the continuity that they're keeping of Mavity.
Okay, that
Did you see the Dr. Donna like specials? Remember in one of them they ran into Isaac Newton, and so because they did that and interfered with his discovery of gravity, instead of calling it gravity, he called it Mavity. And ever since then, anytime Doctor Who has referenced gravity, they've called it Mavity.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I know people were apprehensive about RTV back, but I feel like
Oh yeah.
okay, you have been holy shit. This is the entire time, like, I had so many questions on this. I'm like, I was piecing it together in my mind, and I was alright. There's a lot of missing lines. Female regeneration of the Master, aka the Mistress, and I was like, what? She's some kind of time lady. It's gotta be. And like Ryan was the one who filled me in about the stuff with the Ronnie, because I'm not as knowledgeable on the new Eccleston era.
Now, also, to be fair, she was only in 2 stories in Classic Who. Like, 2 canon stories. The rest, she's done, like, audio plays and stuff, but as far as TV goes, she was only in 2 arcs. But yeah, I was telling Jay this off camera. If the Master is the Doctor's Joker, the Ronnie is the Doctor's Hugo Strange. Her biggest thing is about, like, scientific discoveries, and
She's more of a mad scientist. She's not necessarily. She's more talent, right?
Yeah.
It's more so that she's willing to just, use people as objects and guinea pigs. More so that she's inherent.
like in one of her classics Who stories, she was like the leader of this alien planet and like experimented on all of them and basically I think committed genocide just as scientific discovery.
And I mean, like,
I learned something very interesting. It's something that I didn't even realize, but it caught my eye, that all of the Time Lords have titles for their names. Because the Rani is Hindi for queen.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
It's if I remember, because they introduced this mythos back in Tennant's era. Apparently, when you get to be like towards the rank of Time Lord, you get to look into the time vortex and like see like time vortex and like get to determine who you are and who you're going to be going forward, and that inspires your name. The doctor wanted to help people, so he called himself
The master wanted to control people, so it became the master. The Ronnie wanted
Yeah.
to kind of lord over people, but not in the same way as the master, but also expand, her curiosity. So, it's all connected.
Interesting. That is so cool. But also, as a villain for this season, it is awesome. I like this villain.
And like the chemistry is so great. Like the back and forth between them, it felt like fucking James Bond and Pluto.
Oh yeah. And then the whole, I know bi-generation is controversial, but I do like that they did it with the Ronnie because it basically gives her a minion.
Yeah, I thought that was so clever. That's the first thing I thought of. I was like, good. The Ronnie always has a minion, so Mrs. Flood can be her minion, and I like Mrs. Flood because she's also a Ronnie, also resentful because she's like, no, I'm top dog. But it's like, well, she is technically the original The Ronnie, so I gotta listen to her. I just gotta cope and see, which I love that Mrs. Flood was the one that got me.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I love that. And also, since I don't know much about Doctor Who, the deep cuts to like old, like classic Who shit went a bit over my head, but like overall concepts I find on a myth building standard is fascinating to me.
Dude, the expansion.
The barbershop episode was like crack.
Yes, and I love that. I love it so much.
That's my favorite kind of Doctor Who. Where you get to see where he talks about the adventures between pages. That's always my favorite shit. Because him calling out homie and being like, what? I drank with Dionysus. I watched Marvel movies with Sonic.
Yeah, I love that when he like made that whole big speech, and then the Doctor and Belinda just lost their shit laughing.
Yeah, bro is just a regular guy that had the role of storyteller. Yeah, basically the dude that pens the stories of those who just want their stories dictated, like an like a biography or some shit.
But while he wasn't Anansi, his girlfriend was the daughter.
Yeah.
And tied it into the Forgotten era. Like, it's literally called Forgotten because the Doctor, with the whole with bringing back the fugitive Doctor.
Yeah. I also really like that this season focused on the Doctor as a character because, like, the started with establishing like the Doctor's wants, kind of like what the Doctor feels like they are missing as a being.
Yeah.
And their loneliness, like kind of on like an existential level. So like, him, like that whole journey and the thing with Pop was so good, and it was heartbreaking.
Yes, it was. But they like breadcrumbed it so good because the Anansi episode, if you remember.
Yeah, you see her. I remember.
Belinda saw a little girl.
I remember. I texted you. I was like, wait, that's the same. But before I see her, I texted Brian. I'm like, that's the same kid.
Yep.
So good. And again, I really love his nature. Like, they found a really good way to be able to do both products and cereal at the same time by using the whole device. I forget what the device is called. The Vindicator. Yeah, the Vindicator.
Yeah.
The Vortex Vindicator. I really like it allowed them to like do episodic episodes and still have an overall through line. You got
Which, dude, the Lux episode.
Oh, yes. I fucking loved that episode, but it's not my favorite episode of the season. That's a different one entirely, but
they
Lux?
kept the ongoing, gods.
The gods thing. That shit, and let me tell you, that shit was terrifying. Also, the animation was phenomenal. And again, shout out to Alex, legendary.
The voicing him. His second time in Doctor Who. But yeah, because even when we saw it in the trailer, we were like, who is this Cuphead looking dude? And then they had that reveal where he's like, don't make me laugh. And the Doctor finally realizes, oh shit, why shouldn't we make you laugh? Because it sounds like ha 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 ha.
And also, remember, we haven't seen all the gods yet. We haven't seen all
No.
the that's something.
But holy crap, that episode. Not even just the whole gods thing, but the whole fact that we went animation for a little bit.
The different animation styles. They went little Hanna-Barbera, they did some 3D. It was fucking great.
And the double meaning of the way they needed to get out of it was to just get more real because they needed more depth.
And I also love the meta commentary, them getting to talk to their fans.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
The barbershop episode was my favorite episode. And then probably my second favorite episode is the Interstellar Song Contest. That was just a lot of fun. It was a little on the nose.
Yeah.
But the only part that I didn't like about it was the end. Because it felt Doctor Who's always been cheesy, but ending racism with a song was kind of it was. I told Brian it was very much giving Kylie Jenner Pepsi commercial.
Well,
yeah.
Also, this could change in the future, but one thing that irked me is just the random Susan cameo that they never address.
I was gonna bring it up. That was my next point in my notes. Susan kept popping up, and I thought.
No, she popped up twice in that one episode.
Yeah, she kept popping up overall, and I thought because we were getting the Doctor with a family, and we'd finally get a follow-up on the Susan shit. But they keep dangling this carrot on a stick.
Well, according to a supposed leaker, there was an alternate ending where we found out that Poppy was Susan's mother.
That was accurate what I thought. I had that theory built in.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, she just showed up for a little bit. I mean, it was great to see the actress again.
Also, she kept saying fine. I'm like, okay, why did you do that?
Yeah, and the Doctor just was like, no, that's just me imagining things. That didn't really happen.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope this. I'm hoping this just means that 16 will definitely address it.
Hopefully, because it looks like they're bringing up a plot line that 14 dealt with. Because in one of the Dr. Donna things, when they take the meat, I think that's what it was called.
That was the puppet guy.
The one that was voiced by the chick from Harry Potter. And they said that they hinted that the boss was not going to be happy. And then they brought up the boss again in the finale. Yeah, she said the boss said to say hi. That was a callback.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But yeah, so.
My original theory for that was I thought it was gonna be a reveal in the box.
But yeah, some of the individual episodes were really good. The Well, holy shit.
Oh yeah.
That was a 2 to 4 episode, but you know what my favorite episode was?
What?
The Dr. Light episode.
Oh, Lucky Day.
Which one was the Dr. Light episode? What happened in it?
It was the Ruby episode.
Oh, the Ruby episode. I love the Ruby episode.
It's called Dr. Light because the Doctor was barely in it.
I know. I was trying to figure out which one was the one that barely had the Doctor in it. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right, the Ruby episode. It's the fucking Conrad episode. Fuck Conrad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Conrad. Fucking Conrad.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I really like that. So many other shows have handled the indoctrination of the manosphere type shit, and obviously certain figures that are prominent within media and different spheres. But this handles. I saw this and I was like, yo, the boys need to take notes. This because like it gives the same message, but it doesn't beat you over the head.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Which also kudos to the actor.
Oh yeah.
Which, if he looks familiar to you, that's live action Prince Eric.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh really? It's hilarious.
Yeah, from the
like,
Haley.
The Haley Bailey one. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does have a Prince face. I didn't think he had a Disney Prince face.
And that was part of his whole thing, though, is because, it's sometimes the pretty people that are the ones that are...
Like the whole...
If you haven't seen the Halle Bailey one, check it out. Like, Prince Eric is an actual character.
But you want to, like, one of the reasons why I love that episode so much is it really deconstructs these types of people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when you're living in a world where crazy shit goes down all the time, why do people think that it's just like surveillancing everybody? The fuck?
It's just like, it's costumes and actors. I love that the monsters still got the money.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, is that he saw it as a little kid. He knows that it's real, but he's just saying that it's fake to, like, yeah.
Yeah, he's a clout-chasing little piss boy.
Just so he can get attention, followers, and like, 'cause he knows fear-mongering, fear-mongering and stirring up hate is how he gets attention and money these days.
Yeah. Which, we call it the Ruby episode because it starred Ruby, and Conrad did a really good job, but the MVP of the episode has to be Kate Stewart.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
KLS. Kate Lethbridge. Gotta say her whole goddamn name.
Yes.
She deserves it. Kate.
I'm glad the doctor isn't here because he would not like me doing this.
He would have tried to stop.
Yep.
And everybody's like, Kate, no, let it play out.
He brought my father into this. He deserves this shit.
Exactly. I love that. Kate got to really flex. This makes me be like, when I saw that episode, I was like, yo, before I wanted a unit show before, and I always wanted one, but now that one is officially confirmed, I'm so hyped it's with this incarnation of unit, because like,
yeah, the war between land and sea.
Because this incarnation of unit could honestly give Force one.
Yes, with their Avengers Tower.
I'm saying, like,
which, holy crap, the defenses of that tower.
the cannons, bro. Like, yo, and also shout out to Shirley. Shirley is also just a sleeper MVP overall within unit.
Yeah.
As someone who is also physically disabled, good for you, Shirley.
Well, and you had that, I don't think the world would be ready for if you got Shirley's wheelchair.
Oh, no. I'd be a
Oh, no.
I'd be a menace.
Yeah, the
With,
world would
rocket
just be
powers
terrified.
and...
Thinking,
Absolute menace.
Yep.
But,
Like, you'd come over here to be mine.
oh, yeah, Brian. You wouldn't be able to talk slit to me no more, Brian. You
wouldn't be able to talk shit.
would not be able
But just call Jay up, like, hey, you want to come join me in beating Brian's ass?
I'm really happy, but you're lucky. That technology has not been made available to me.
But yeah, that
Just you wait.
another great Kate moment from the episode though was when he started threatening Ruby, and she was like, "You will not threaten her."
Also,
And then Shirley at the end was like, "Are you collecting moms now?"
side note, like, yes, it was a Dr. Light episode, but man, when he showed up, that speech he gave to Conrad, that was one of the first times I was like, whoa, damn.
And
He would have
and he-
killed that motherfucker.
And I was like, finally, we get to see the doctor, like, be mad and have, like, a rageful moment. That's really cool. We haven't seen that from 15 yet. And then Interstellar Song Competition comes in and says, "Hold my..."
Hold my beer. You thought that was something. Just give me a second, sweetheart. Oh man, the speech he delivered to that guy, and the nerve of that sucker. Just scoff. He was
Kid.
He was a kid. He was just pretending. A baby goat ass bitch.
Which that was the thing that I liked about Kid is that they had the whole backstory where it's a sad backstory, but yet still Kid was evil.
He was double down evil, and I respect that.
Yeah.
Which is also why I kind of had a problem and racism with the song part of that. Again, the episode overall is good, but I think that ruined it for me a little bit. But yeah, so I think that's enough yapping. We could honestly keep going, but final thoughts and ratings.
Well, we didn't even talk about the whole.
Oh, we didn't talk about the big
Wish World.
We didn't talk about the finale, right? The finale, right? In my notes, the finale.
The 2-part finale.
The finale does have its own section in my notes. Okay, so first off, wonderful fits once again, and also, even though Belinda and the Doctor were never shipped, and, for obvious reasons, but also Belinda has more of a I'm gonna steal what Brian has been using the entire time for his screen time. I totally agree with it. Belinda is more of the hand slapper, big sister, whereas Ruby was more of the eager little sister.
Oh, absolutely. I can agree with that.
And but I do love that they showed that in another world, 15 and Belle could have some real chemistry.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
Wish World was some nutty behavior.
That was some WandaVision-ass shit. It gave...
Yeah, and it started with a Agatha all along, Once Upon a Time-esque flashback thing. Because that did look like it came out of Once Upon a Time. And the seventh son of the seventh son.
That part was straight up Once Upon a Time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also just love that the Ronnie was just out here just pulling the Cersei, turning people into animals.
Mm-hmm.
Those poor ducks for their owl, man.
Yep.
I hope that got undone. It's still kind of fucked up. I guess they weren't able to pinpoint where he's from, so they couldn't send the baby back. But
Yeah.
he got a good forever home with the best foster family in the universe, the Sundays.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But yeah, the action was.
But then the fictional world where it's all only stuff that could be imagined by Conrad.
And it's also Conrad perverting what the Doctor knows.
Yeah.
What people wanted. He kind of took it all on the most surface level possible, which is why
Mm-hmm.
I like the whole effect of doubt breaking the world kind of thing. Again.
Oh yeah, and I like the twist that doubt is what the Ronnie wanted.
Yep. And also, the finale really showcases the potential of the Doctor and the Ronnie stack, and it was so good. The banter, especially with her taunting him as he's slowly remembering. It's oh, he's going pleasure joining us now, though. And I'm just oh, it's great. I love it. She's got such a great attitude.
And then her callousness of, oh, you fulfilled what I needed, but you can completely undo everything, so I'm gonna kill you now.
Yep. And I also love that, again, this shows that the Ronnie is fucked up, but not evil. All she really wanted, which was also kind of, again, tying back to the Doctor's existential crisis themes that have been going on since season 1. All the Ronnie really wanted was to, basically undo Chibnall's fuck-up.
Mm-hmm.
And bring the Time Lords back.
But part of the reason, and part of the way that she was going to do that was another Doctor Who deep cut.
Yeah, Omega.
Which, by the way, just as a key, as a key to how powerful Omega actually is, he is the villain for the first ever multiple Doctor story. The 3 Doctors that brought in the first 3 Doctors to work together. It took 3 Doctors to take him down.
It's pretty insane.
This first time. And the only reason why in later stuff he was able to be taken down by 1 Doctor is because he was just mind controlling people from his prison. He wasn't actually free. But
And I think Omega himself was handled pretty well.
that's what he looked like in the original.
I think this was even better than the death that the Death God dealt with
But Sukteth. But I do like the fact also that they tied it into the gods stuff. And like said that because Omega had been in that area for
where the primordial gods dwell, and the Doctor was fucking with those prime forces.
And he had been in there for so long that it had mutated him.
And because he's in a place of legend, he ended up becoming his own legend. That was some Nasu versus Ash. That's something that Fate would do.
And then he ended up eating the Ronnie?
Yep. And Mrs. Flood was like, oh, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, time ring? Yoink.
Yep. Oh yeah. And then also, Jay, I know you had mentioned it that you were gonna do it. Did you ever actually go back and watch the
I did not,
Christmas special?
I did not end up doing it. I was going to, but then I forgot.
All right. Well, because initially I thought, hey, you wouldn't need to watch this, and then the finale was like, no, bitch, you thought.
Yeah, because I was like, alright, who the fuck is this person?
Well, because what happens is the Time Hotel is like the focus of this special, and the Doctor ends up, long story short, he ends up having to stay in the hotel for like a year just to not fuck with the time-space continuum, and like, so he just needed to stay at that hotel for 1 year, and you know the Doctor is all about running and going. So, yep. And he was still also reeling from the fact that Ruby had left him and that his people were gone and dealing with all of that. Yeah, so, but Anita, staying with Anita, helped him to calm down. And they did like a whole montage of them playing board games and talking and getting a little flirtatious, but never actually doing anything, but just like calm down. And like he actually got like to like smell the roses and appreciate life and everything.
I see what you did there. Smell the roses. Nice transition, Brian. Let's go ahead and talk
Well,
about it.
before we get to there, because another thing that was part of that is, in the end, in order to save the whole entire like world, the Christmas special only companion, the chick from Bridgerton, she had to absorb a like star-like thing that if she didn't explode, didn't absorb it, would explode and destroy the whole world, and like destroy it in the past. So not only would it kill billions, but then it would prevent billions from being born. So she absorbed it, but then she became a star herself. Her name was Joy, and it was called Joy to the World. And here's your transition, Jay, because that is the star that he decided he wanted to stay with in his final moment. And that was the star.
Yeah, so speaking of the final moment, I really do appreciate that Jodie, I didn't watch Jodie's send-off, but this feels more like a proper send-off for Jodie.
Yeah, I will agree with that, because it did embrace her nature, which was, she was a more like loyal ride-or-die Doctor than the others.
She was also way more like scatterbrained, hyperactive. And you could tell
Yeah.
she was just bouncing around, and I love just all the things like, oh, you made it bigger. Oh wow, you're really good with your emotions. You did actually push it. I should tell that to Yasmin.
You don't.
You don't, but she knows. And I'm like,
'Cause that was a big contention with the fans.
yeah, I was like, that was nice. 'Cause even though I never finished the book, I got the vibes. I got the vibes.
Yeah. But yeah,
And again,
Jodie was great.
it was also just a nice passing of the torch. No, technically, he was gonna pass the torch right after.
Well, the thing is, I think they used Jodie. I think they used Jodie and somewhat Belinda for Ncuti to like give his final feelings of playing the Doctor, and like
No,
having a Doctor.
yeah.
Having a Doctor there allowed Ncuti, the actor, to speak to the Doctor.
His final monologue was how he talked
Mhm.
about it's been a joy. You could tell he meant that from his whole heart. You know?
Oh!
Mm-hmm.
He said it was a joy, and then he went to joy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's also significant because one thing that I think you might know this, Jay, from watching Doctor Who, but I don't think Tony does. It is a big thing, like with the regeneration, is your last moments influence who you're going to become in your next regeneration. Like,
There's a reason
Mm-hmm.
He was very angry.
And also he had spent decades on a planet and had become old. And then when Capaldi ended, he was at more peace and like don't be like me and like
different. And they went completely different.
yep. So your final moments as the Doctor influenced the next one, which is why Jodie told him don't go out in anger.
Yep, don't go out in anger. And again, going out in joy with that sense of wonder leads perfectly into who they got for 16. Oh my god, guys. The big bad wolf returns. It's Billy Piper, y'all.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I did not see that coming at all. Like, I saw it, was in shock, and was like, that's not, that's not. I'm tripping. I confuse people all the time. This has to be one of those places, it has to be one of those times where I'm getting the wrong actress. That's not who I think it is. That's not who I think it is. No way. Play it back a second time. No, I'm pretty sure that's who I think it is. No. One more time. Listen to the voice. Yeah, that's who I think it is. And I'm like, let me Google it just to be sure. Make sure I'm not tripping. Google told me. And then Brian was like, it also says it in the credits. I was like, oh, I haven't gotten to the credits yet. Sure enough, get to the credits and introducing Billy Piper as the Doctor. Like, this also shows that, I mean, obviously, she's not going to just be playing Rose, but her time as Rose and Rose's, like, long-lasting influence on the Doctor will definitely show through on this one.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Rose is the first person that the Doctor has fell in love with.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no. Yeah, I think she is. Because I think he had a few flirtations in Classic Who, but I don't think he ever.
The first deep, long-term love that he felt.
Yeah, and there was that one time where the Fourth Doctor and one of his companions got together IRL, but they never did on camera.
Yeah, I think part of my thing, right, and this is just my headcanon and speculation. We were talking about how, again, final moments influence the regeneration of the next person. If you think about what could possibly be going through 15's head as he was going, he's thinking about Poppy, and he's probably thinking of Poppy, about Belinda, about all the different people in his life, and like I think he had love on the brain,
Mm-hmm.
and so like what is the face that the Doctor thinks of when he thinks of love? Rose. I mean, it's not like they would. It's not like they had. It's not like they would have casted Alex Kingston.
Well.
If 15 regenerated to Alex Kingston, I would have lost my shit too. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, and also it's not like he's gonna regenerate into Jonathan Goff, which, by the way, awesome cameo. Hope he's not dead.
Yeah, same. You mentioned he's in the Hell Dimension, but I hope that doesn't mean he's dead. I hope that just means we get to rescue him from the underworld type shit.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's gonna be interesting, and also this is like in speculation part, but you do remember that the Doctor does actually have a actual factual canon daughter.
Yeah, the Doctor's
Yeah, which, funnily enough, played by David Tennant's actual wife. But if they bring her back, which is funny because she's also.
Is she like the daughter of a doctor, or like a daughter-in-law?
Yeah, it's
She's like the daughter
I
of
think.
his favorite doctor, right? I remember him saying that.
Yeah, I think it might be 5 or 6. But yeah, she is the daughter of Tennant's favorite doctor, which is funny.
Just, again, talking about speculation stuff. 14 is still around. He's living with Donna and all that. So,
Yeah.
like, we could get like an indirect reunion.
Yeah.
I want to see his reaction, because Rose was a companion of his, so it's like, he shows up, oh, Rose? Not exactly.
No, I'm you from the future. What? Oh, but yeah, that would be interesting.
I
Also,
would also love to have, I would also like to have 16 meet Rose, as in, like, Donna's daughter, Rose.
oh yeah, which it was nice to see her again.
Yeah, like, I hope, like, in the unit show, since she works for Unit, right? Because we saw her in the Unit base.
Yeah, but also it looks like the Unit show is not going to be like focusing on Unit. It's focusing on a new guy, a new character. But he's played by the werewolf from Being Human UK.
Oh, nice.
And the only cast members that I know of from UNIT that are confirmed for the show are Kate and the military guy that is totally crushing on her.
They're totally shipping.
Those two are the only ones that I know of that are confirmed for this show.
I love Kate's reaction to the voice.
And dude, the callback that they did not forget about Susan Twist.
Yeah.
And that she was there as like the maid.
Also, Mel had the stick.
Oh yeah, Mad Auntie Mel. Which, seeing Mel get to...
That was so cool. Oh, Melanie, you're still around.
Yeah, and then Mel, I haven't thought about you in a day in my life.
I love that.
Cool.
She was just channeling her Thanos. I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, and the old, I was a housewife.
That react right. That was absolutely. But
yeah.
Now for real. Final thoughts. All right, I'll start. I love 15's run so much. It's honestly in my top 5. I was telling the guys during the trailer talk. I think in no particular order, it goes for me: Tennant, Smith, Eccleston, Judy, Capaldi from my top 5 doctors. Again, I'm mostly a New Who fan, so that's why all mine are new. I'm sure if I got into classic, I would have the classic somewhere. But that's for me.
Yeah, I think out of all of the classic doctors, the ones that you'd like, Jay, best are John Pertwee, number 3, because that's the one that was friends with Ian Fleming IRL and had more James Bond-esque feel to the Doctor.
Oh, nice.
And then Sylvester McCoy, who is 7, the last of the classics, because he had explosions, had a cane. He was more of like a mad modern doctor. I think he was also played by the same actor that did I'm probably gonna get this name wrong, but what's his name? Radagast the Brown?
Yes,
Radagast
Brown. Yes.
Yeah, that actor.
But yeah, that being said, I don't know if I can bring myself to give it a full 10 because there are some episodes that I still have problems with, and I don't think that this was a flawless season, or even I enjoyed it so much that I can ignore that all the little flaws aren't enough to bring it down. But I am gonna give it a 9.5. It's damn near perfect, and that finale. If I was rating it on the finale alone, it would be a 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
But 9.5 feels right to me. So yeah, that's my score. Tony, go to you.
Well, since my levels of exposure to Doctor Who is very small, like I said, this is the only full run of a Doctor that I have seen. I've only seen little bits of Smith's run, so this is the only Doctor that I know fully. And just for this run alone, it has been a great one. So I'm with you on the 9.5, Jay. But if I feel so inclined to actually get into New Who more and actually delve into classic Who, since you guys know my taste, which doctors would fit me more? Be invested.
In terms of New Who, Tennant's your guy.
Yeah.
Tennant's my guy.
Tennant's your guy. Especially the episodes that happen in Tennant's some of the best.
Yeah, and I'd say for Tony's sometimes unique personality, I think also Capaldi.
Capaldi is the Doctor that is the most like Tony, because Tony is really an old man.
Yeah.
Well, you're not wrong there.
Capaldi is the Doctor you relate to the most. I think in terms of episodes throughout their run, Tennant's your guy, because correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because I could be. But at least I felt like Tennant's run had the most sci-fi cosmic horror type episodes.
Oh yeah, and also Tennant is the more.
The best introduction episode for Doctor Blink, right? That was his.
No, Blink. Oh, Dr. Light. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blink was because he's only in one videotape where he talks to the main character, but.
Yeah, that's one of the best Dr. Light episodes. Blink is amazing.
Okay.
And Blink is the one that introduces the Weeping Angels, which they are one of the most terrifying creatures of all fiction, honestly.
Seriously.
No hyperbole.
I mean, I know of the Weeping Angels, so seeing the context of them more would actually be really, really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna dive into a run, I suggest Tennant. I mean, all of New Who's pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Tenet I think would be the one in terms of like overall episodes you would enjoy. Capaldi would be the one that you vibe with. Eccleston has more of your style, I would say.
Yeah, and Eccleston was only there for one season.
Yeah.
Like,
and also you understand why me and Brian were so upset that he was wasted as Malekith. He would have been a great Malekith if they actually made him into like the actual character.
Yeah.
Now it was nowhere near as bad of a character assassination as they did with Christian Bale's For the Godfather.
But yeah, and as far as classic goes, I don't want to go into full detail because then we'll be here forever. But I'd say, I think knowing you, Tony, 2 and 6, which, Georgia Tennant, that's her name, who played the Doctor's daughter.
Yep.
She's the daughter of the 6th. I just remembered. She's the daughter of the 6th. Because the 5th came in, and he was very controversial. He's the one that wears the rainbow coat. But I think Tony will like him because he was the most like mad doctor.
Okay, so wait.
This is in Classic Who. Oh wait,
So,
no. I'm getting those mixed around. There are now 16 of them, and remembering their order is a little weird. But yeah,
So Brian, you are
6.
the veteran, so that's why I want to
All right. Well,
Yeah.
going back to like you were talking about the Weeping Angel. We were talking about the Weeping Angels and everything. That leads me into my opinion because that is the thing. Is Ncuti is one of the few doctors. Him and Paul McGann, I believe that's his name, who was the doctor that was introduced in the shitty TV movie. They are the only 2 doctors to never face a Dalek.
Interesting.
Holy shit,
50 never faced a lot of classic Who villains, like the Cybermen.
I mean, Cybermen kind of makes sense given how they kind of ended that.
Yeah, which they kind of found workarounds for the Cybermen, but the Daleks is the most tragic one because the Daleks and the Time Lords are like the ancient enemies. They're like,
It's
to like,
to use a history, but
the
it's like Roman Carthage.
and to like give a Marvel example, kind of like Kree and Skrull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's so weird that he never faced them, but still, like I agree with Jay that he will probably be up there as like in the top 5. Like even for me, including classic, he might be in the top 5 of doctors.
Considering he had a season run.
Yeah, which part of me thinks that RTD is RTD. He's with this new run, he's breaking a lot of traditions. So my theory brain is going into the fact that maybe the reason why he brought back Billy because Billie Piper and it's great and she's awesome and it's gonna be really cool to see her again. But I think she's like Eccleston. She's only gonna stay around for 1 season.
Oh, interesting. You think she'll be here for to tie up a plot and then bounce?
Well, I think also she's here to like give him more time so that he can find an actor that can stay the course longer than 3 seasons.
Oh, that would be great. Also, I forgot to bring this up, but before you give your thing, I want to talk about this real quick. Do you think? Because Belinda got a proper companionship, but Ruby is kind of
Nah.
in the open.
Well, see, that's.
Do you think Ruby will get time with 60?
Oh yeah, I do. Because that's one of the things is Belinda had a job. She was a nurse, and her time was always finite. And I know people, including some people on this call, talk about how her having the mother arc seemed to come out of nowhere.
It did. That is
Which it did, but I will give them some leeway. She was always a family focused person. Like she kept talking about.
She was definitely a family focused, but you talk about her parents a lot, but like I never saw like a yearning for a family and all of a sudden. But I mean, it could also be explained with the fact that she was always a mother because like, it turned out she was a mother this whole time, and like what we were hearing was a result of a weird time fracture shit. So like she always had Poppy, so that mother thing was actually a leftover from that timeline. So I get it, but like given the context from what we heard up until that point,
Oh my God!
it did kind of come out of nowhere.
Oh my God! Her having a kid this whole entire time would make her eagerness to want to go home make even more sense.
Oh, yeah, I mean that's remember the montage where like it was revealed.
Yeah, I know, but I just didn't like put 2 and 2 together in my head.
Yeah, because she was like, remember, I gotta get home to Poppy.
Yeah, I get that. Like in my head, I thought that was history rewriting to accommodate for it. But if it's like how you said, and she's always had the kid, yeah.
Because remember, they talked. If you remember how the doctor explained it with like the whole bounce thing, he talked about 2 things from multiple times. So, like the timeline the doctor had bounced from, the timeline where she did not have Pop, but then once the timeline kind of coalesced and made into a proper timeline that she had Pop.
I hear you.
That's why I kind of dropped my that criticism once that kind of came together for me. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't fully drop down to a 9. If I had kept that into consideration, I probably would have dropped the score down to a 9.
But yeah, I liked Belinda as a character overall, and like her slowly getting the wonder of everything, and also being like the hey, get back to work type big sister energy.
I really like that she had the wonder, but she was also competent. She wasn't just getting kidnapped all the time. Or,
No.
In trouble. She was able to contribute a lot.
Like she was a nurse. Like
Medical know-how.
she got to use her medical know-how more than.
Poor Martha.
But yeah, I feel like Belinda is kind of like RTD trying to like make up for Martha.
I said this straight up. Belinda is Martha done right. That's RPD's redemption arc for him acknowledging that he fucked up real hard with Martha.
Yeah, but yeah, going back to what I was saying though, Ruby didn't have a job, and at the end of it, her job was that she was hired by Unit, and so I feel like when we do Unit stuff, we're going to see Ruby, and she's going to be a part of it, just like Rose.
Yeah, that's fair.
And we still need to the doctor still hasn't talked about her unique ability, they've just hand waved it away.
Yeah, like her preserving memories from various timelines does have to come into play.
But you know how that you know why that started, right? 73 Yards.
Yeah.
The episode where she had her own timeline adventure away from the doctor.
Yeah, and then she had that whole thing with the guy that became the president.
Yeah, which maybe magic, maybe some fairy shit.
Yeah.
We don't know completely.
Goblin sorcery.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mythical creatures do tend to like Ruby.
Yeah. Well, the goblins were her first ever episode. Fairies were the 73 Yards. Yeah. But yeah. Overall, though, with this season itself, I see a lot of criticism online, and some of it I get, but some of it I just don't understand completely, and I don't get it. And maybe it's my Doctor Who bias, but then I see you guys and your scores, and I'm just I don't know what they're smoking. But anyway, long story short, I agree with y'all. 9.5 across the board.
Yeah, you just all right.
Our brain cells have united once again.
Well, we are gonna have some major tonal whiplash from this fun sci-fi adventure. Although it's technically gonna still be a fun sci-fi adventure. Ryan,
For a completely different reason.
what we will be covering in next week's episode of the Channel Chasers podcast.
Well, it is a Channel Chasers first, because for the first time in Channel Chasers history, we are going to be covering an anthology. Now, granted,
It's a movie, isn't it? I thought it was a movie.
it's a movie anthology, but it still is an anthology. It's 3 separate stories.
Technically not true.
It's
Marvel's What
classified
If.
online as an anthology.
Yeah, Marvel's What If was an anthology as well.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We did cover Marvel's What If.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so it is-
So for the second time,
But for the first anthology film.
yeah, it is the first
Yes.
film we're covering.
we are covering Predator,
Killer of Killers.
Killer of Killers. Yeah, I forgot the subtitle.
Okay.
My bad.
I was like, is he waiting for dramatic effect? Do I come in or just... But yeah, Predator Killer of Killers, the Hulu animated anthology film. Reacted to, super hyped for it. Came out this week as of recording this video. I have not watched it yet. I was going to do it before the pod. I did not have time. But we will definitely be talking about it. And I'm super hyped. Predator has been through a big resurgence lately. Spider-Man vs. Predator, Wolverine vs. Predator, Prey, and now Predator Killer of Killers. So excited. Can't wait to see what this has to offer. And we hope you enjoyed our quick trip into Targus. And we cannot wait to do this journey again with 16 when that happens. But
Mm-hmm.